Emily, I'm going to be taking your husband from you now. I get that this is all happening on the day of your wedding, but he's going to be with me now. We're going to run away with one another for our love's sake, since that's the only thing the both of us ever wanted. He said that he's left you with the divorce papers and all, so you fill them out and get them to the courthouse as soon as possible. And once you've done that, make sure to let me know so that the two of us can get married and be a happy couple for the rest of our lives. Emily! Hey, you cut all of that crap out right now and come get your ex-husband. I want you at my house within the hour to pick this man up and take him away from me. Billy, this is actually perfect timing. I was just thinking about texting you about all of that, so thank you for starting us off. What do you want? Are you finally going to tell me that you want your ex-husband back and will take him out of my house? To start things off, that man you continue to call my ex-husband happens to be the man you called your boss at the company you were once working for before you ran away with him during his wedding, right? His name's Ryan, right? That's right. I never thought that he was married to you all that time before I got him out of there. Why do you think that he was my husband, though? I was never aware of who he had been married to at first, but then when he and I got to our first hotel together, he sat me down and started to tell me all of the details about his wife and the kind of woman she was. You and her shared the same name, you guys graduated from the same university, and you even grew up in the same place. That's when it came to me that his wife was my older sister. I know that Ryan's a very cool man with a massive house and a lot of money, and that's why I wanted him as my man and all. But when I learned that he was your man of all people, I thought that things would be even more fun now, having just stolen him from my sister's wedding. So, with that kind of reasoning, you went and destroyed someone else's family? Well, come on. I thought it would be awesome as hell to make your life go from heaven to hell in a matter of seconds after stealing him from you. How frickin' sad. Huh? Here's the facts for you then. I just spoke with both Mom and Dad and asked them about what happened 3 years ago. Huh? You have no idea what kind of trouble you both put Mom and Dad through after you ran away with that married man, right? Well, not really, no. And after I'd first broken up with Ryan not too long after, I called Mom and Dad telling them that I'd be going home to live with them again. But when I said that, the both of them told me that I was disowned and nothing more. All right. So you don't know anything about how Mom and Dad were forced to sell their house after you ran off with that man because his wife had forced those two to pay your settlement off? What? And you don't know a thing about how now Mom is having to live in her own hell now, being forced to act as Dad's parents' slave all the time since they're having to live together. Huh? And about how Ryan's wife has the same name, is the same age, and went to the same schools as me. What? In other words, you haven't known about a single one of those things for the past 3 years and have just been living life like you'd done nothing at all, right? Huh? Wait, what are you going on about? And wait, you guys have the same name and all? Really, the only difference was what we went to college for. I was there learning international languages, and she was there studying economics. But she and I were never friends with one another and had never really seen one another in person either our whole lives. In reality, recently was my first time ever learning about how someone with the same name and age as me, who went to all the same schools as me, exists. Huh? Are you kidding me? Also, when it comes to myself, I had to save up my own money and such to go to college, and so I didn't start going to school until a year after all the rest of my friends. That's why, technically, her and I were in different years when it came to the university we were studying at. Are you sure? You have to be lying to me right now, right? If you're still not willing to believe all of the things I'm telling you about now, then you're going to be far worse off. I can have Dad start talking with you again, though, if you'd really like, because he'll tell you all about the things you messed up for Mom and him after he had to clean up your mess. What? So then all of this really did happen? Ryan was never your husband and you were never his wife? Neither of you have ever even seen one another before? That's right. We don't know one another and probably never will. I didn't even know that the man you ran off with back then was named Ryan and only learned his name recently after Dad had told me everything that went on 3 years ago after you left. This is insane. Oh no. Hey, help me. Emily, please help me. What? You're coming back asking for my help again? I need money! $80,000! No. You give me that money right now! You're asking me for $80,000 right now, so no. Wait, does that mean you went back to Mom and Dad at Grandpa's house? I did, all right, and now they're both coming after me. After being disowned by the both of them, you went and did the most brainless thing possible? Because I thought that since I'm pregnant right now and will be having them soon, I could use them as a way to get Mom and Dad to take me back into the family again. But when I came to the front door to see them, they both started to yell at me, saying they had lost $80,000 having to sell their home and pay for the settlements, and that I'd need to pay them back right now. Although they did say that since I'm pregnant, I could stay at Grandpa's house with them all. But after I had the baby, they were going to be putting me to work. I don't know what place they'd be putting me to work at, but I could tell that Uncle Rich has something in mind for me. He said to Mom and Dad that he knows of a company that's meant for wayward dogs like me, and that they could send me there to work doing manual labor for the rest of my life so I'd learn my place. Oh, right. Oh, he's talking about that all-female rock quarry that's run by the nunnery. A rock quarry run by nuns? They told me that I'd be forced to cry all of my tears away at a place like that. My husband told me that one of his old classmates was forced to go there and work 10 years after she went and beat her kid. He told me all about how before she was forced to go, she was this crazy woman that never listened to her family or her own husband and would constantly yell at her son. But after 10 years of being there, she came out this holy woman who acted like she'd never even think about doing something evil like that again. Huh? What kind of place is that? For some reason, I'm shaking out of fear right now. Well, from what I've heard, a place like that is beyond strict, and it is meant to break your soul and build you a better one. Then why? Why the hell do I have to go and work at a place like that anyway? Why am I not being allowed to go and work at a normal place around the house, like a restaurant or a cafe, like other women my age do? Well, look at it this way. When looked at by those outside the family, you are a total bitch that needs to be taught 500 lessons or so. Huh? I'm a total bitch? Why the hell am I the total bitch here? So you really are unaware of all the horrible things you've done to everyone? You explain to me right now what makes me more of a bitch than all the rest of you. The fact that you even need to be explained to why you're a bitch goes to show that you're too far gone and need some real help. Huh? Oh, that's right. One other thing. Seems that Ryan went out and checked to see if the baby inside you is really that boyfriend's of yours or Ryan's. What? After you had broken up with him for your current man, you went and had sex with him a few more times behind your boyfriend's back, right? Wait, if it is your current boyfriend's baby, then nothing else will be done about it. But right now, Uncle Rich is wanting to take you in to have an exam done to see whose baby that really is. He wants to get a DNA test done on the baby? Well, when all of that starts to be put into motion, I'm not going to be the one around telling you the information about it. What? I've also made a promise with both Mom and Dad that once things have calmed down between us, we are never going to talk to one another again, like things have been for the past 4 years. Wait, hold on a second. And in order to uphold the promise I made to you all a long time ago in cutting ties, I have to say bye to you as well. Emily! So, bye-bye. Emily? Hey, what about that 80,000? I made sure to block her number on my phone and removed her contact as well so that I wouldn't even have to worry about seeing anything from her again. And the same thing went for my parents' numbers as well, after I told them that if they ever needed to talk to me again, they could go through my Uncle Rich. Now that I think about it, what happened to the man who Billy said was the father of her current baby? Well, it turns out that the baby she was carrying was neither Ryan's baby or her current boyfriend's baby after testing was done on its DNA. In the end, it was never found out who the baby's father really is. Due to things not going right with Billy whatsoever, my uncle, as well as both my parents, agreed to start talking about having the baby sent to a foster home after it was born. And with a man like my uncle on the case, I think things are going to turn out all right for the baby, even if Billy tries to fight, saying she wants to keep it. It's been a few months now since then, and having given birth to her baby and having a few months to relax, Billy is now on her way to work. When she stepped out of the house one day to get the mail and everything, thinking she'd be just fine, a black van pulled into the driveway and she let out a scream when 3 nuns came out of it. She was grabbed off the front porch when she couldn't get back inside the house thanks to my grandpa locking the door on her, and now she's being taken out to that quarry, where she'll be living in the nunnery nearby and will have no access to the outside world. Currently, she is bawling her eyes out every single day because of the harsh beatings she gets from a lot of the nuns there, who say that they are beating the devil out of her so that she can get back to work and pay her parents back. And you know what? That is just the kind of place that a complete and total dog like my sister really belongs, and I hope that she'll have to stay there forever. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Excuse me, Kate, are you really going to get married?
Long time no see, Mom. I'm not sure where you heard about all of that, but it is true that I'm getting married soon. I would really like to introduce you guys to my fiancé as well.
I don't care about your fiancé right now. How could you push your cute and amazing little sister aside and get married before her as the useless pile of trash that you are? I will not allow such a thing to happen.
Why does it even matter to you which one of us gets married first? If you're so worried about me getting married before her, then how about you talk with her and ask her to get married right now?
She is far too cute for me to say anything like that to. If I'd choose between asking her that and yelling at you like I am now, I'd choose this. Now, you get out of her way and let her get married first. This is the whole reason why you're always called useless by us.
The only ones who are ever treating me like I'm useless are you and Dad.
What are you talking about? Everybody in this family says that about you.
Well, the other day I was out with Aunt Jane and her family for lunch.
Huh?
So, was that all you had to say to me today? I was planning on telling you and Dad about how I'd be getting married soon, but that's all been taken care of now. So, can we stop talking to one another right now?
You hold it right there. Be aware that neither your father or I will be coming to your wedding then. There's never been a wedding so awful that not even the bride's parents would come to it, right? But since you're trying to get married before your own little sister, like the little rat that you are, then us not coming is what you get.
I was wondering what else you had to say to me.
Since I have the chance to, allow me to say this clearly. Just having our cute and amazing little daughter is more than enough for your father and I. We have no reason to be going out to your wedding of all things.
I see. Well, suit yourself, I guess. Are you sure you're not going to be regretting those words?
I would never regret staying away from you. Your father is agreeing with me right now as he sits here next to me looking at what we're saying.
Then I'll make sure not to send either one of you the wedding invitations. Is that really what you want to have happen, though?
You're starting to get on my nerves now, Kate.
All right, then. Well, it seems now that we've handled what we had to say today. Goodbye now. Kate, did you tell Mom about how you're going to be getting married soon? She just came into my room out of nowhere and started going on and on about what all you were doing and left without even letting me say anything. Oh, well, I wasn't the one that let her know about that. She had to have heard it from someone else, and then she started to text me asking about it all. Is that right? I'm going to assume that one of my friends from back in the neighborhood told their parents about it, and then their parents went to Mom about it afterwards. I see. It's not like you were trying to hide your upcoming marriage from anyone or anything like that. Not really. I was even planning on telling Mom and Dad about it all soon, too.
And when I said to her that I'd like to introduce my fiancé to her, she told me she didn't care about him at all, and that's where things ended.
Are you serious? From what I saw Mom saying and from how she was acting, she didn't take things very well. Complaining about things like how we should be getting married and whatever happened to the little sister coming first kind of thing.
Remember that Mom has always been about you coming first when it comes to everything, and if that doesn't happen, she loses it.
Well, I don't really care who gets married first, to be honest. But in Mom's mind, I think she can only see two outcomes, one with me winning for her and one with her losing to you. And when she was complaining to me just a bit ago, she was saying everything like I just agreed with her on all of it and had no comments of my own to make. She made it seem like she was going to listen to me, but wasn't actually trying to.
So it's not just me who has to go through all of her crap?
Well, I can't compare what I'm going through to the amount of hell you've had to deal with. But I really do want to hurry up and get out of this house.
Just a little longer, so please hang tight.
Will do.
Bailey, I have the best news ever for you.
What's it about?
You are going to be getting married now.
Huh?
Listen, the other day you agreed with me that you didn't want your older sister getting married before you, right? When I went to your father and told him about how you were feeling, he went out and found you the perfect man to make into your husband.
What are you talking about?
The man he found is a 37-year-old who is currently working for a very large company.
He's 37 years old? I'm only 21, Mom.
Well, at this point in time, nobody's going to care about you both being 16 years apart from one another.
That's not even the problem I have. Why is all of this even happening right now? I never said anything about how I wanted you and Dad to look for a man to marry, did I?
You've always been telling me about how you wanted to get married to a very wealthy man in order to make both your father and I happy, right?
I never once said any of those things.
Oh, Bailey, you really don't have to get shy about this. We made sure to talk with your boyfriend about how you'll be going on a date with one another tomorrow at a local hotel, and we'll be staying the night there together. So please prepare for that.
Huh? Kate, I'm going to be leaving Mom and Dad's house right now.
What?
This is an emergency, so I made sure to grab all of what I could carry, and I'm going to get on the next bus out of this place before they all stop.
Bailey, hold up. What's happened?
Both Mom and Dad went out and found a man for me to marry, and I never even asked for that.
What? Did they start doing that in an attempt to get you married before me?
I made sure to give Jim a call just a second ago about this, and he said he'll be coming to pick me up at the bus station closest to his house when I arrive there. Now, if either Mom or Dad ask you about where I've run off to, please don't tell them a dang thing.
I'll make sure not to. I'll go ahead and act like I don't even know what happened. Now, be careful not to panic too much, all right?
I'll try my best.
Kate, do you have any clue where Bailey went?
What's that?
Did something happen between you two? Oh, no. I wonder when she left the house at. And pretty soon her fiancé will be coming to pick her up. Her fiancé? Yes, it's Bailey's fiancé. Did she ever even have a fiancé before? They got engaged just yesterday. Both your father and I went out of our ways to find her a man with very high specs for her to marry. And today's the day where she'll get to meet him for the first time and then go with him to a nearby hotel to have their very first date. Did you only tell that all of that was happening after you guys put it into motion? And did you just say that this will be her first time meeting him and that they're then going to have a date at a hotel afterwards? There's no reason for someone like Bailey to say no to such a good thing, right? Well, you're not going to know about that unless you go and ask her how she feels about it. I don't have to ask her to know how she feels about it. I know that her dream is to get married to a man with a ton of money, all for the sake of her own mother. I'm pretty sure that is not at all what her dream is. And what could a waste of time and money like you ever know about the things that Bailey and I have? Well, whatever. As for what you were asking, I have no clue what's happened to her or where she's gone. If you want to find her so badly, then you go out and start looking for her, please. You don't have to tell me that twice. Honestly, the only thing you've ever been perfect at is pissing other people off, Kate.
Bailey, I just got some texts from Mom a second ago, and it seems that she's only just now figured out that you're no longer home with her. Wait, are you serious? She was asking me when you disappeared from the house and all that. You have to be kidding me. Well, thanks to her ability to be so unaware of things, I was able to make it over to Jim's place safe and sound. So in the end, everything turned out just fine for me. That's right. By the way, what's your plans for going to trade school going to be? You're way too far from the school to go there now, and if you were to come back here, it would be far too dangerous for you. That's what I was thinking about, so before I left, I made sure to call the school. And they told me that there's actually a closer office to here that I can go to a few days a week for training, and then the rest of my classes can be taken online.
Oh, is that right?
I know that it's not the best thing for the field I want to go into, but for the time being, it's a better option than anything else out there.
I see. Well, as long as you're okay with it all, I have nothing to worry about. And the fact that you were able to make it all the way to Jim safely is by far the best news today.
Are things going to plan for the both of you?
Right, about all of that. With the way things are now, I can tell that both Mom and Dad are going to not only be annoying, but a massive pain in my butt. So I just spoke with my fiancé again, and we've decided that the best bet is to give up on where we were planning to have our wedding and head out that way instead.
I think that's the better choice as well. And if you guys do plan to be out there anyway, then it's no problem having your wedding overseas as well, right? And it's not like you had really invited anyone else besides his parents anyway.
Kate! Why didn't you tell me this earlier?
It's been a few months now, Mom.
The men that both you and Bailey are getting married to are the sons of an executive director at your dad's work?
That's right. We actually went overseas and had our weddings together at the exact same time. Bailey got married to the little brother, Jim, and I got married to the big brother, John. I guess the wedding is all over with now, and the news was going to eventually make its way back to you guys. And as for Bailey, she did get married as a student, but both of Jim's parents aren't worried about that and said it would be okay.
Stop talking like you have no worries about all of this. That executive director is the younger brother of the CEO. In other words, that means that both your husband and Bailey's husband are nephews to the CEO. Why did you never tell your father and I about this earlier?
I actually wanted to tell you guys about it, but when you started to get in touch with me first, you told me that both Dad and you wouldn't be coming to my wedding, right?
What?
But even with that all being said, I thought it would be a good idea to say something about my fiancé, you know? However, after I had some talks with his parents about what to do, and during those talks I mentioned how you didn't even listen to Bailey's opinions at all, and went out to get her a fiancé when she didn't even ask for one. We talked about how after you had told Bailey that news, she panicked and got onto the next bus with whatever she could carry, and made it all the way out to Jim's place that night.
It wasn't that crazy that she had to run away from it, though.
No matter how you think about it, what you did was crazy enough to warrant her running off. You told her to go on a date with some old man and then go stay the night at a hotel when she hadn't even met him before yet. Do you not understand how scared you made her when you said all of that?
But when it came to her fiancé, Bailey said to me that she wanted to make my dreams come true before, and so...
That's what you've been telling yourself this whole time, all right?
What?
All you've been doing is rambling on and on about your dreams. And when Bailey never even had a chance to say anything about your dream, you just assumed that she agreed with it and would do as you wanted.
Huh? There's no way that could be.
Then tell me, with all those things you think she said, why did she already have a boyfriend and everything who she was ready to get married to?
Well, that's, you see, with him being the executive director's son, he has to have a lot of money.
Well, when it comes to the both of his sons, neither of them are working with him in that company, and are in fact working in a completely different line of work as remote workers.
What?
And when it comes to how much Jim is making, it's not all that great of an amount. Just enough for him to take care of the both of them for a bit. Also, it was John and I who had first started going out with one another, and later on we both introduced Jim and Bailey to each other. And we only ever learned about how their father was the boss of ours after we had been dating for a little while and started to talk about our parents more. So when it comes to you and that dream of yours, it had nothing to do with either one of us, and we never ever listened to it.
No way!
So we are done here, right? I know that Bailey has already gone and blocked both you and Dad, and I'm about to do the same thing to you both as well.
Hold on a second, please. Look, right now things aren't going so well for me.
What's happened to you now?
After I had chosen not to go to either one of your guys' weddings, and after I had done everything without listening to a single thing from Bailey about how she felt, it's really gone and upset the executive director.
Yeah, I could understand him getting upset over all of that. You pretty much went and made it seem like you didn't care about either one of his sons.
Your dad, and his position at the company, everyone's been talking about him behind his back, and right now he feels like he's not in a good place at all there.
I'm sure. That all sounds like something that would begin to happen. That's the kind of bullcrap both you and him pulled with your own daughters and the executive director's sons.
And the son of the president living next to us also works for the same company as your dad, and when he heard the news, he told his mom about it, and now that news is spreading all throughout the neighborhood, and now it's really hard for me to leave this house with everyone watching me.
I like to think you're both getting what you deserve right now, Mom.
No way! Are you not even going to try and help your father and I out of this, even just a little bit?
Is there a reason for me to want to help you both?
What?
Are you aware of just how much stress you've given both myself and Bailey over the years now? I don't think you do, and will most likely never will.
You guys have been stressed?
You go ahead and figure all of your problems out on your own now. I have my own husband to get back to now as we both begin to move into our new place and buy furniture for it.
But, isn't there at least a few $1,000s you could—
No, Mom, there really isn't. For all those times you called me so useless and a pile of trash, it's really odd seeing you begging for my help like this now anyway. Go talk with Dad about how to handle your guys' punishment, in other words, and leave both Bailey and I out of it. Goodbye now, and I'll never be seeing you again.
Kate, wait! Let me come out to you and we can talk all this over in person. What is your address? Kate!
My mom continued to call me for some time after I put down my phone, and with it getting really late for me, once I'd gotten out of the shower, I went and made sure to block her. Things were then completely silent, and I never had to hear another word from her or my dad's mouth ever again. After what had all gone down with my mom, my dad was kind of forced to quit his job at the company, and was not even given a package or anything when he left. One of the reasons he's had to go and leave the company is because he couldn't stand all of the rumors about him. He would have to spend almost every single day of his life there dealing with the crap his coworkers would give him about my mom's and his decisions. And at one point, he was even being teased by some of his teammates, saying that he would have been better off with a wife that could actually understand the difference between reality and her dreams. So with all of that constant talk getting to him, he really didn't have another choice but to go. There is one other thing, though, that played into the decision my dad made, and that had to do with money. In order to get the 37-year-old man to marry my little sister, they were paid hundreds of dollars by him as a way of saying he could pretty much do whatever he wanted with her. But due to my sister no longer marrying the 37-year-old man my parents promised him would happen, they were asked to return the money he'd given them. However, both of my parents had already used the money, and part of the reason for that was my dad's current situation at work. And normally, my parents weren't good at saving money anyways, so they both really put themselves in a bad situation. So when that man came over to get the money back, and neither of them had it for him anymore, he went and took valuables from them like jewelry and clothing, which he could go out and sell. Things became even more difficult for my dad after that, as he started looking for work due to his old age. And without the hopes of money coming from my sister or I anymore, both of my parents started to get into arguments and fights every day, throwing furniture all around their house. But after a few days, they both agreed to go out and settle with part-time jobs in order to pay for the house and food, and get all of the neighbors to stop calling the police on them due to the fighting. I'm not sure how long they can handle that situation for, though, but having blocked the both of them now, their future does not matter to me at all. And as for what's happened with Bailey, she's now back on the other side of the U.S. from my parents with her husband, taking classes at her trade school to prepare for working as a carpenter. And when things come to myself, I'm still living overseas with my new husband, working full-time as a housewife. He and I aren't totally certain what I'm going to do next here, but at least now I'm not being held down by my mom anymore and finally feel completely free. George? What the hell is that memo you wrote down? How could you just write down for me that you're going overseas now on a frickin' sticky note? And not only have you gone, but your mother has gone with you overseas now on vacation? Is this some kind of a seriously sick joke or something?
What is going on here, Riley? Stop trying to ignore the fact that I'm just wanting to show my mom my love and respect for her by doing this.
By the way, where the hell did you even get the money to go overseas on that vacation?
About that actually, I used that thing. Remember how you got that $2,000 ticket from your dad so that you could go travel to another country without having to pay?
What? Are you talking about the $2,000 travel voucher that my dad gave us for our wedding?
That's the one, I think.
Huh? Why would you? My dad gave that voucher to us so that you and I could use it to travel overseas and celebrate us getting married, right?
Correct, which means that I have a right to use it on whatever I want. And since now was the perfect time for me to use it, with my mom commenting on how much she'd been wanting to travel overseas for a bit, I used said voucher.
You have to be kidding me, right? That was given to us for you and I to use, so how could you just do something like that without even talking to me first?
Well, it's not like you were going to be able to take a vacation right now.
What? What are you talking about?
My mom told me that going on vacation is a luxury for a wife like you, and for me to go on vacation all by myself, that would just be too boring for me. So I asked that my mom come along with me on this one.
Huh? All of the things you're saying right now are outright ridiculous to the point I can't even understand what your reasoning was anymore.
Hey, the one who I can't seem to talk to right now is you, Riley. If you're so upset about us not having gone on this trip together and about the image it could leave behind, just lie to your dad and tell him you and I used the ticket to travel already. That should be enough to calm your nerves and his, right?
Huh?
And with that, we're done talking about this now. Now I'm about to get on the plane with my mom, so I'll see you later.
You hold it right there, George. This has nothing to do with how my dad feels about any of this. George! Jesus frickin' Christ, I don't care what happens with you or your mother.
Hey, how's it going, Riley? Have you been hanging in there?
Hey, Dad. I think that I've been doing all right.
Have things been going all right with George and the rest of your in-laws lately?
Well, let's just say things have been a bit rough for me.
Why would that be the case?
Well, on the bright side, I'm at least getting used to how the city here wants the trash and recycling done each week, and have become a lot closer with a lot of the neighbors now, to the point I can trust all of them. So, not everything has been rough.
I see. Glad to see that you're getting along with the rest of the neighborhood so far.
That's right.
Right. Now that I'm talking with you, I have something else to ask about. Did you and George end up using that overseas travel voucher I'd given you for your wedding?
Yes.
With $2,000, you guys were able to have a nice little trip, right? Tell me, where did the both of you end up going with that?
Well, I'm not sure what the best thing to say about this would be.
Wait, was that $2,000 not enough for both of you?
It has nothing to do with the voucher itself, Dad, and nothing at all to do with the amount you'd given us either.
What happened, Riley? You're getting a little bit too vague for me here.
Well, the one who ended up using that voucher wasn't me.
What?
The ones who went and used it were George and his mother.
Huh?
He told me that the both of them took the voucher without even speaking to me first to go overseas with it. I was never told where they were going on that trip and for how long the two of them would be gone for. Currently, they are out of the house and enjoying themselves somewhere with that voucher.
What the hell is up with that? I gave that voucher specifically to you so that you and George would be able to have a honeymoon when you guys had time for one, since George didn't have any of the money to treat you to one. You explained all of that to George, right? Why the hell would his mother have a part in any of it? And why would he take her instead of you on that vacation?
When it comes to his mother, about her, well, let's just say that the both of them are just as bad as the other. And they both agreed to use that voucher without even coming to me first to ask if it would be okay for them to use it instead of me.
Is that right? Does this mean his mother did that with the intent of trying to cause some trouble for you? Or do you maybe think that someone like George is just a mama's boy and won't even dare go against his mother if she were to bring an idea like that up to him?
Those are both good points. And I think you're right about both of them. And it's not like either of them really understand the current financial situation at the house.
Has his father said anything to you at all about what's going on there?
Normally, he does a really good job of listening to everyone and their opinions. But recently, he's had a lot going on at the office and doesn't have the mental leeway to deal with the family much.
And does he know anything about his wife and son using your gift from me to go overseas for a little while without having to pay a dime?
Well, he hasn't been home for a little while since he's been at work for a business trip the past few days. His trip has something to do with something very important regarding the company, and I don't want to take his attention away from that by telling him all of this drama.
Do you know when he should be back from that business trip?
In 2 more days, I think.
Understood. Now, Riley...
Yeah?
Can you start getting all your things packed up and ready to move back to our house?
What?
Based on what you just told me, you'll be at the house all by yourself for the next 2 days, right?
Correct. Everyone that's been living here is now out of the house for a bit, so it's just been me here all alone, taking care of things like the chores and whatnot while they're all away.
Then that makes this all the more easy for you. I'll have your mom head over there tomorrow with her pickup truck.
Wait, you're sending Mom?
When Mom looked over at my phone and noticed that both your mother-in-law and husband used that voucher without even asking you first, she sat up and said that she'd seen enough already. She told me that she's ready to head over there right now to get you, and just took the truck out to get it filled up with gas so she can leave first thing in the morning.
So this means that both you and Mom are going to have me go back to your house and stay there for a while?
Well, now that you're aware of things, Riley, I want you to leave all the rest of this stuff to me.
Are you sure, Dad?
I think when it comes to your father-in-law, I'd do a much better job of talking to him about everything, and we wouldn't have to waste all day trying.
I guess you are better at that. I'll leave explaining all of this to him up to you then.
Thank you. I'll be doing my best. What in the hell is this divorce paper all about?
Does that mean you and your mother are back from your vacation now?
We sure are, and it was because of you that she and I had to hurry our asses back to the U.S. Bringing my damn dad into all of this is screwed up, you know.
How would something like that be screwed up, though? When you're the one that went and used my dad's present to us for your mom and you without even asking.
Huh? Things that the wife owns become things that the husband owns. So what the hell is wrong with me using the voucher on things I wanted to use it on?
I would like to talk with you about what ended up going on there, actually.
Hold on, I don't even know why this is such a big deal for you, though. Where the hell have you even run off to, Riley?
I went home.
Why the hell would you go all the way back there without telling me first? You're the one who should have asked me if going back home to your parents was all right first before doing it. Do you understand what I'm saying here? When the wife wants to go back and see her parents, she's supposed to come to the husband first and ask for his permission before even thinking about leaving the house to go home.
I'm not sure what all you're talking about, George. Especially when you already heard about why this is all happening from your own father now, right? I mean, he was the one that said it was okay for me to go home, so...
Wait, he said it was okay for you to leave the house?
After speaking to my dad about what happened between you and I, he said that he'd go and have a word with your father about all of this. But I never expected that your dad would become so upset by the whole situation that he'd ask for your mother and you to rush home right away.
What are you even trying to say here? Even if I try and look at all this from your point of view, the way you did things was messed up.
How come all of this is messed up to you?
Because this is leading to you leaving me through a divorce now. And not only that, but my dad is leaving my mom now too, which means that I was told by my dad that he's no longer gonna let me become the next CEO of his company after he leaves. He said that he's now looking into other employees in the company he'd like to give the position to, and he'll be giving me a pay reduction come next quarter.
Ah, you were a manager there or something, right?
And to make all of this worse, he's going to have me transferred out of the HQ building and into a much smaller office on the other side of the state in the middle of who knows where.
Just be thankful that he didn't happen to fire you then.
I'm not thankful for any of this. Now you listen here. You're the one that has to rely on everything I do and bring into the family to live. So if I lose a large portion of my salary next quarter, you're gonna be the one feeling that lack of money the most.
Did you already forget about how I left you with those divorce papers and moved back to my parents' house?
What? Wait, but you are... Right now, you're nothing more than a housewife, right?
What the hell are you talking about? I've been working remotely this whole entire time, George.
What?
Your mother, for whatever reason that only God knows, was the one who started to think that for some reason me being in my room working on my laptop all day was me playing games or something and slacking off from my chores. And that delusion of hers somehow managed to pass on to you as well, and you began to say the same things thinking that I was your housewife, just like your mother. I'm really not sure why the both of you were able to have such terrible delusions about me, but I never once said that I was a housewife, nor did I ever say I was playing games in my room all day.
Wait, huh?
In other words, you get the gist of what I'm saying, right? Even if you were to sign those papers and hand them in today, I would have no problem with becoming divorced. Now, as for the both of you, considering that your father has been having some really tough times with his company lately and things only seem to be getting worse for him as the CEO, he may no longer be able to afford that house you all are living in. And with you and your mother always spending all his money by going out and acting like you both are celebrities or something, you're only making things worse for your father. So in his eyes, both you and your mother are really nothing more than a couple of pains in his ass that he needs to get rid of now.
What?
But to make things really worse, while your mother and father have knowingly been taking money from my dad in order to help with your guys' financial situation and all, your mother has still had the balls to pick on me all the time. And then there's you, who should also know about my dad's money going to you all, yet you have been treating me just as badly as your mother, acting like she's been giving me hell this whole entire time.
No, wait, that's,
Then fully aware that we wouldn't be able to have a honeymoon after our wedding due to you having no money at all in your savings, my dad gifted you and I that voucher so that we could have a honeymoon using it. Yet you went and used it with your mother, the one who had helped get your family into such a terrible situation in the first place, to go on vacation instead. After having shown my dad just how little you respect what he's done for all of you, there's no way for you to make any more excuses here, right?
I was just.
Those are the reasons why your father has now told your mother he's divorcing her, and why you're now on a path that is just above being fired within your father's company. Now, could you stop trying to blame everything on me and get real for once? That's the only way you're going to be able to save yourself after this.
No way! I didn't do anything wrong, though! And my mom, she would never do anything wrong!
and his mother came running out to my parents' home. They continued to bash the doorbell over and over, screaming at the top of their lungs about how they didn't agree with the divorce and about how they both wanted me to become their ATM. And then, out from the side door came a man neither of them had ever seen before in their life. It turns out that those two had accidentally been banging on my neighbor's front door the whole time, and they must have made the mistake since both our front doors are right next to one another. I'm not sure what our neighbor did to the both of them because all I could hear was a lot of screaming and crying, but the very next day both George and his mother went and got the divorces they were asked for. Right now they both have moved away into the small shack that George started to rent close to his new office. And with his more than halved income, his mother can't stand such little money coming in and has started to take on a lot of credit card debt. Out in the middle of nowhere, in a small shack located inside of a trailer park, the two are constantly fighting with one another and getting into trouble with all their neighbors over it. It's only going to be a matter of time before all of their neighbors begin to form a mob, and those two get kicked out of the trailer park as well. I'm still living at home with the both of my parents, and am happy to say that things have worked out a whole lot better for me now, not having to deal with that pathetic mother and son anymore. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Oh, this is unbelievable! If I'd known this was going to happen, I wouldn't have hesitated any longer than I already have. I should have kept trying to reach out no matter what, even if it meant making things worse with my husband and all.
Huh? Excuse me, but who is this?
Oak, really now? Even if we've only met once, why are you asking who I am? I get that it's been years now since then, but I'm the one person you should be able to remember the most.
No, I truly don't remember. At the very least, I don't think we've exchanged phone numbers or anything, have we? Because you're not showing up in my contacts anywhere, and there is no text or ID. Where'd you even get my number from?
It was on my son's phone, your husband's phone, that is, and I made sure to get it off there so I could finally get in touch with you again.
Huh? Wait, are you trying to say that you're my mother-in-law? That doesn't make any sense.
That's exactly what I'm trying to say here.
Well, I don't think that's true. My mother-in-law's phone number has been saved in my contacts for a while now. And to be honest with you, she never once texted me before and said it herself that she's more of a caller than a texter.
Oh, really? Well, in that case, you shouldn't have played dumb and asked who I am if you already know me.
Wait, what?
I mean, you clearly know who I am since you already have my contact information in your phone, right?
No, that's not at all what I just said about you, though. The person saved under mother-in-law in my phone, they aren't you. And my mother-in-law wouldn't even be texting me right now, even if she did do that.
What? Are you trying to tell me that I'm not your mother-in-law at all or something?
Yes, actually. You're not my mother-in-law, and I'm not really sure who you could be. So how about you go and check your son's phone one more time and make sure you didn't type that number into your phone wrong?
What kind of nonsense are you spouting? You're just trying to escape the blame for your crime, aren't you? Well, I'm not letting that happen, and I will make sure that you are held responsible for it.
Huh? What crime?
My son found out about your affair and left the house to go and try to investigate, and then he got hit by a car. All he wanted to do was get the evidence, but before he could move out of the way, he was knocked out completely.
Wait, what? What are you talking about? I've never even heard about any of that going on.
You're the one who ran him over, didn't you? You wanted to silence him, didn't you? All because you are too egotistical and can't stand having other people know about your faults. But I won't let you get away with this. I will never forgive you for this, ever.
Let me ask you this one more time. Who exactly are you? Because honest to God, I have no clue who you are or what you want with me.
I told you already that I'm your husband's mother, your mother-in-law. And what I want from you is to confess your crimes and then make up for them so that my son doesn't have to go through this pain anymore.
Okay, you need to listen very carefully to me. I am currently traveling with my actual mother-in-law right now. She's right beside me in our hotel room, and we are getting ready to leave and go outside. So, again, who are you?
What? What do you mean you're with your mother-in-law traveling right now?
My mother-in-law has chronic back pain, so we're staying at a spa resort for an extended trip to help her recover for a little while before her next fit of pain.
What? I'm your mother-in-law, though. What's all this nonsense about me being at a spa resort with you and having chronic back pain? Stop making up some ridiculous old lady scenario about me. I'm just getting into my 60s.
It's not made up, though. Also, if your son has been in an accident, shouldn't you focus on that instead of accusing me? If there's any foul play involved, the police will investigate, and if I were really involved, that would come to light during the investigation. I think it's best if you stop making strange accusations about people you've never met before and stop getting confused about everyone around you.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Trying to run away, are you?
There's no reason for me to run because I haven't done anything. Now, just to be clear with you one last time, you are not my mother-in-law. That much is certain. So please go and take one more look in your son's phone and make sure you don't have the wrong contact or phone number.
You're still insisting on that? I might call the police on you right now if you're going to continue behaving like that.
Goodbye. Oak, lend me some money, all right? Huh? Is this you, Candace? It's been years since you've reached out, and now you're asking for money? What about that wonderful high-earning husband of yours? You know, the one that you constantly were asking me about for some reason? Saying that you're the one who deserved a man like that? You went and seduced Mark, my former boyfriend, using your pregnancy as leverage to force a marriage, which at the time was completely insane of you, but now that I think back on all that happening there, it was totally wrong. Ah, that wasn't exactly how it happened, but you seem to remember a lot about me, actually. Besides, at that point, you hadn't even given your answer to the marriage proposal yet, so technically it was fair game. Fair, because if you weren't going to be getting married to him in the future, that meant to me that he needed a new woman, and one who could actually love him. Sure, I guess you could argue it was technically fair, but do you remember how you embarrassed Aunt May, who had been the one to introduce Mark to me? She spent so much time going out looking for someone perfect, all just to have the man she had finally been able to find ripped away from her and I by you. Or how disappointed Dad and Mom were with you after that whole mess. How they both told you to get out of the house and never come back to them because they couldn't even look at your face. And if I recall correctly, you didn't end up being pregnant after all, did you? You just lied about that in order to get Mark to believe that he had to become your husband then, making it all a lot easier on you. Ugh, that is ancient history. Besides, you went on to marry someone else from some other dating app, so what's the big deal? Anyway, what I have going on with myself right now is more urgent. The money. I have no intention of lending you money, but what happened? If you let me know why you need money so badly right now, I may be able to help you in other ways. Well, you see, I accidentally ran over Mark with my car.
You what?
I put the car in the wrong gear and it shot forward instead of backward, and that led me to pretty much end up hitting him by mistake. Luckily, I didn't kill him at the time, but he didn't get up when I called out to him.
You are kidding, right?
He's going to be okay, no life-threatening injuries, but it's going to take him about 3 months to recover. But I couldn't just sit around waiting for the ambulance to come and get him, so I actually reversed out of there and took off to lay low for a bit.
So, let me get this straight. You want me to cover Mark's hospital bills that you ended up causing him and the car repairs? All because you're too afraid to take responsibility for your own actions?
Well, yes, that's part of it, but it's also because my affair was exposed at the worst possible time.
Excuse me?
My boyfriend, Mark, caught me in the act of having sex with him, and we were actually doing it together in the car. When I saw him watching the two of us in the car, I panicked and tried to drive away, but I accidentally hit him because I switched the gears the wrong way. And like I was saying, when I had to look out my window and yelled for Mark to get up, he didn't. There was a bunch of blood that also started to come out of him, and I just freaked out and told my boyfriend to call the ambulance, and then we took off.
What on earth were you thinking?
I know. So now, on top of everything, Mark is suing me for damages to him and for having that affair with another man. I already tried to fight the case, saying it was all an accident and that he doesn't have any evidence of me having that affair. But the judge and all of the jury wouldn't listen to me.
So you're looking at a payout of hundreds of thousands of dollars, right?
You must realize there's no way I have that kind of money, right? I don't have anything saved up, and Mark was my source of income, really.
Didn't you quit your job to become a full-time housewife because you thought marrying high-earning Mark would make you set for life or something?
Yes, I did. And so what? Is that a crime?
Whether it's a crime or not, you're definitely reaping the consequences of your own actions now, don't you think? I don't even get why you would have that affair in the first place when you had gone through all the trouble of stealing him from me years ago.
I suppose I was just fed up with some things in our relationship that made me start looking for someone else to please me.
I see. By the way, sorry to change the subject, but there's something I want to ask you.
What now?
What's your mother-in-law's name?
Huh? My mother-in-law's name?
You remember, don't you? When Mark and I got engaged to one another, barely a month passed before his parents got into a huge mess and ended up divorcing. I never really had a chance to ask for his mom's full name because of all that chaos and because she was kicked out of the house and moved away before I could talk to her again. But since you married Mark, I figure you would at least know your mother-in-law's name, right?
I haven't really spoken to her much, but I think her name is Janice?
Thanks, Candace. That's all I needed to know. Goodbye now.
Wait, hold on a second. Are you going to help me out with my money situation or not?
Oak, I am officially demanding $50,000 from you as compensation.
What? Is this you again?
Yes. I've decided to take matters into my own hands and avenge my son's suffering. He deserves justice, and I'm going to get it for him. So make sure you have that money to me by next week, or I will be calling the police on you. Suffering? Fine, whatever. Actually, it's good you started to text me. I was about to reach out to you anyway so that we could settle all of this. Wait, what? Can you meet me this Saturday at 9 a.m. at the parking lot in front of the west side of Central Park in City A? Let's settle this whole dispute there with one another in person. Oh, that's sudden. But you're being strangely cooperative, aren't you? I figured it would be more convenient for you this way, right? After all, it is you who needs the money the most and not me. Well, yes, that does sound easier for me. And you're right that I need the money. I guess this means you're finally showing some remorse for what you did to my son. If that's the case, I won't press you too hard about everything, and I'll hold off on calling the police on you for now. So, 9 a.m. on Saturday then? Fine, I'll be there. But remember, I'm expecting you to make things right between all of us after what you did. And if you're truly reflecting on your actions, I won't push for a harsher penalty. Just don't forget that I'm not going to let this go easily. Right. See you then. Candace, this is about Saturday. Are you going to be free around 10 a.m. to leave your house and come see me?
What do you want? Did you get that $50,000 I asked for ready?
I want you to come out to East Park in City B around that time, all right? Meet me in the parking lot there and we can talk some things over together.
What?
You'll be able to come, right?
And that's you saying you're going to be giving me that $50,000 I need?
Are you coming or are you not coming?
I'll be going. I will definitely be going to see you. I need that money badly, so I really have no other choice.
Then make sure to get there on time for me, please. I don't want to have to wait all day for you out there.
I'll finally be able to end all of this without having to get into loads of debt. Thank God.
Oak? What is this? What's with the blacked out van that just pulled up here? Ah, hello, Janice. You're right on time. How punctual and very impressive. What do you mean impressive? What are you planning to do to me? The people who've come to pick you up are not bad folks, so you really don't need to worry. How on earth am I supposed to feel reassured by you saying that right now? I only came here because you said you'd give me the $50,000 that I'd been asking you for before. But I never once said I was going to give you $50,000, right? What? But I said that I needed all of that money from you.
Yes, and because of that, I've introduced you to a job opportunity.
A job opportunity?
The van that's here to pick you up belongs to Rogers Construction Company. It's one of their work vehicles that pulled up to meet with you, so no need to worry.
What? What exactly do you think you're trying to make me, your husband's mother of all people? I demanded $50,000 from you to avenge my son's suffering, and now you're telling me to work? How does any of that even make sense?
Isn't it because after your divorce you used up the alimony and your ex-husband's personal savings and now you owe him $50,000 and that's why you're asking me for it?
What?
Also, let's be clear about one thing here. Your son is very much alive and well, isn't he?
What does that have to do with this?
Ugh. Let me say this again. I am not your son's wife.
Oh, there you go with that nonsense again. How many times do we have to go back to square one? You were the one who was introduced to my son a while back in the arranged marriage meeting.
Yes, that part is true.
And I heard you got married to him in less than 6 months after that meeting.
Well, in those less than 6 months, his marriage partner changed and I was no longer with him anymore.
What?
Let me get straight to the point. Your son's wife, Mark's wife, is my older sister, Candace.
Your older sister?
Now, Janice, I have heard a bit about your situation. It seems that shortly after I started going out with your son, you got divorced from your husband. Because of that, you weren't informed about the results of what happened with him and I, were you?
Yes, that's probably true.
That's why you mistakenly assumed I was your son's wife. But after your divorce, I understand you met with Mark a few more times to have lunches and dinners together, right?
Yes, we did meet a couple times after that.
Well, since Mark and I exchanged phone numbers during our short time with one another, I assume you must have secretly taken my contact details around that time?
If I'd only known the name of the actual woman he'd be getting married to, none of this would have happened.
Right, but I imagine Mark didn't exactly want to tell you the truth, did he? It must have been hard to explain that he ended up marrying the woman he had been dating for a little bit's sister. That's an awkward situation to explain, and I know I'd be afraid to talk about it as well.
So, that's how all of this...
Well, I think we're done here now, right?
What?
By now, you're probably already on your way to the van that Rogers Construction brought for you, right? They've instructed me not to stay in contact after we've finished our conversation, since they'll be taking you out into the middle of nowhere and there won't be any cell service for you there.
Wait, hold on a minute!
Look, I was dragged into this misunderstanding due to a lack of information, but this is where our connection ends. Best of luck to you, and I hope you can make all of that money back to pay your ex-husband with.
Wait! Oh, don't leave me like this!
Good luck with your new job at Rogers Construction. Take care.
Wait!
Oak, I've been shoved into some blacked-out van and none of these guys are giving me any answers. What's going on? Yeah, that would be Rogers Construction. You've heard of them, right?
Wait, what? No! You've got to be kidding me. Isn't that...
Yep, it's where Aunt May's been working for the past few decades now.
I know that, but that's not the point. That place is notorious for being what people call a rehabilitation facility for wayward people. It's a nightmare at these kinds of companies.
Well, sure, they're known for shaping up some rough types. But from my perspective, it's a good, reputable construction company with excellent employee training. A totally above and beyond style of operation.
Why do I have to go and work for Rogers Construction, though? This could have all been settled if you'd just given me the $50,000 I was asking you for earlier.
I never once said that I was giving you $50,000, though.
What? You knew I needed to come up with $50,000, so you're telling me this was your solution? Just throwing me into a job somewhere?
Pretty much. And that's why I had you come out to that parking lot today.
So that's what this is all about? I thought you were going to pay me.
Good luck with the job, and try your best not to piss off any of your bosses.
Oak! Give me that $50,000 right now!
At 9 a.m., Janice was picked up by the company van, and an hour later, my sister Candace was also collected by them. Although they're technically mother-in-law and daughter-in-law, they never once saw each other before heading off on separate journeys to their respective assignments, and will most likely never see one another ever again. Now, under the strict but caring guidance of their passionate senior colleagues, both Janice and Candace are reportedly spending their days utterly exhausted, battling muscle soreness and near tears as they work hard. It's tough, to say the least, but they're getting through it in order to change their ways and make that money they both need to pay other people off. As for Mark, who's still recovering in the hospital, it seems he's had time to reflect on a few things a bit when it comes to his mother and his wife. Word is, after his recovery, he plans to join Rogers Construction voluntarily as well, in order to humble himself and understand better the people like his mother and wife. So as you can see, although I was unexpectedly dragged into this situation, it's finally settled down and I didn't have to end up paying a single person the $50,000 they begged me for. Now, as for what's been going on with myself after all the drama concluded, I am taking a well-deserved break, enjoying a parfait with my real mother-in-law and relaxing after all the chaos.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Seriously, Nick? What's your problem? You're glaring at me like I set your whole room on fire or something.
Don't even start with me, Brandy. I know you touched my Switch while I was at soccer practice. Don't bother trying to deny it.
Oh, please. Why would I waste my precious time playing your little kid games? Maybe you just lost it or forgot where you left it. Wouldn't be the first time.
Nice try, but there's no one else it could have been. We don't have any other siblings, and Mom and Dad don't even know how to turn the thing on. You're the only one who touches my stuff without asking.
Maybe the dog did it. Maybe it's haunted. Not everything is my fault, you know.
Give it up, Brandy. You're not cute and you're not fooling anybody. You scratched the screen, broke one of the buttons, and worst of all, you saved over my game file.
Oh my god, are you seriously crying about a dumb little video game? You need to get a grip, Nick. Maybe if you spent less time playing and more time growing up, this wouldn't be such a big deal.
200 hours, Brandy! I spent 200 hours building that save file, leveling up, unlocking everything. It's all gone now because you couldn't keep your greedy hands off my stuff for 5 seconds!
Boo-hoo. Maybe it's a sign you should get out more. You know, meet a few real people instead of whatever fake friends you have in your dumb games.
I'm telling Mom and Dad, this time you're not weaseling out of it. They need to hear exactly what you did.
Yeah? Go ahead and tell them. You know they're not going to punish me. They never do. It's not my fault I'm the favorite.
Yeah, I know.
That's right. So why don't you run along and cry somewhere
You think it's funny stealing my games, my chargers, whatever, but stealing my wallet, that's a whole new level of messed up.
Oh my god, calm down. Why would I even want your ugly old wallet?
Don't even try it. I'm so sick of you lying to my face like this is all some big joke. I'm not stupid, Brandy. My entire paycheck was in there. It didn't just get up and walk away.
Wow, your whole paycheck? Your whole paycheck is $20? That's so pathetic. What kind of worthless loser only makes $20 in a single paycheck?
You did steal it! You just admitted it! Give me my money back, Brandy!
I did not.
Yeah, you did. I told you it had my whole paycheck in it, but you knew it was only $20. That means you must have stolen it.
Wow, you're such a massive loser nerd using that dumb mind trick on me.
Give me back my money, Brandy.
Nope, sorry, big bro, but that ship has sailed. Better luck next payday.
I'm not joking around. Give it back.
Oh, you're serious? Oops, guess I should mention I kinda already spent it.
You what?
Yeah, you snooze, you lose, right?
What did you even buy with it? It wasn't that much money.
Snacks, mostly snacks.
Snacks? How many freaking snacks did you buy?
Like, a lot. I stocked up, okay? I'm gonna have the best late night snack stash ever, all tucked away in my room where you can't touch it.
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. You stole my money to hoard junk food.
Cry harder, Nick. Go ahead. Tell Mom and Dad. See what happens. Oh, wait. They're just gonna pat me on the head and tell you to stop being so mean to your precious little sister.
Yeah, I know. I'm not wasting my breath.
That's right. They love me way more than they love you anyway. Always have, always will. You're just the background character around here.
You're unbelievable.
Remember my 15th birthday? You wanted a new pair of soccer cleats to use in your big championship game, but Mom and Dad said they couldn't afford it. Meanwhile, they threw me a party with a rented pony, 2 bounce houses, and a professional face painter.
Yeah, I remember. They made me sit there and watch you open presents all day while I had to duct tape my old glove together for the finals. Good times.
Exactly. You should have learned back then that you're never gonna beat me. Not at home, not anywhere.
Maybe, but it doesn't matter anymore.
Oh yeah? Why not? You finally gonna move into the basement and cry yourself to sleep every night?
No, I'm moving out. As soon as I graduate, I'm gone, off to college, away from you, away from all of this.
What? You can't leave. If you're gone, who am I supposed to get money from?
Get your own job, Brandy. There's a wild idea. Earn your own money like a grown-up.
Ew, no. Jobs are lame. I don't want to waste my life working like some loser.
Tough luck. You're gonna have to grow up someday. Can't mooch off Mom and Dad forever.
Watch me. I'm their favorite little princess, remember? They'll never kick me out.
Maybe, but good luck convincing anyone else to put up with you. You're on your
Hey, big bro, guess what? Mom and Dad kicked me out. Total shocker, right?
Not really. Honestly, I'm surprised it took them this long.
OMG, rude. Anyway, so I'm coming to crash at your place for a while. Hope you're cool with that.
No, absolutely not. You're not moving into my apartment, Brandy.
What? Come on! I'm your baby sister. You can't just leave me homeless.
You're not homeless, Brandy. You're irresponsible. There's a difference.
Whatever. You're just mad because I used to mess with your stuff all the time. Water under the bridge, bro. Forgive and forget.
Forgive you for what? Let's see, stealing my wallet, ruining my games, eating my food, wrecking my car keys. You want me to keep going, or are you feeling nostalgic yet?
OMG, lighten up. That was forever ago. I'm a totally new person now.
Yeah? New person who somehow got herself kicked out of her own house? Explain that one.
Ugh, it's not even my fault. Mom and Dad are just being totally unfair. They said I don't contribute anything and treat the house like a hotel and steal food and money when nobody's looking. Like, excuse me for having needs.
Sounds a lot like what you did to me, except now you burned through Mom and Dad too.
You're so judgmental. Seriously, I just needed a little help. Isn't that what family is supposed to do?
Family helps when you're actually trying to fix your life, not when you're treating everyone like a personal ATM.
OMG, you are so dramatic. It's not like I'm gonna stay forever, just until I get back on my feet.
Which, based on your track record, will be around never.
You're such a jerk. You think you're so much better than me just because you went to college?
No, Brandy. I think I'm better than you because I don't burn every bridge I walk across.
Whatever. You're not gonna leave me out in the cold. I know you're not that heartless.
You've mistaken family for free ride one too many times. You're not my problem anymore.
You can't just abandon me like this. What am I supposed to do? Live on the street like some stray dog?
Maybe you should have thought about that before you treated everyone like garbage.
I'm coming anyway. You can't stop me. I know exactly where you live, and you're not going to turn your own sister away when she's got nowhere else to go.
Try it, Brandy. See what happens. You think you're entitled to my life just because we share DNA?
I have nowhere else to go. You're just going to let me starve to death out there all alone, aren't you? You're seriously that cold?
I'm not your safety net. You want to make it on your own? Figure it out like the rest of us had to.
You're cold and selfish. You just want me to starve to death out on the street all by myself while you sit in your cozy little apartment pretending I don't exist.
If you think setting boundaries is selfish, you're in for a rough life, Brandy. Grow up!
You'll regret this someday. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone, and you'll be all alone.
I'll take my chances. Good luck out there, Brandy. You're gonna need it a whole lot more than I.
Did. Seriously, I thought you'd be living in some gross dorm room with mold on the ceiling, but this is actually kind of cute.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I let myself in a couple hours ago. Your spare key was hidden under the mat, by the way. Might want to work on your security. Just saying.
You broke into my apartment?
Relax. It's not like I trashed anything. I'm just hanging out. Appreciating your cute little couch and your weirdly organized bookshelf. You're so OCD, it's hilarious.
Brandy, you have no right to be there! You can't just waltz into my life whenever you screw yours up! This isn't your place!
Oh, chill out. You weren't even using it. It was just sitting here all empty and lonely while you were off being mad at me. I'm giving it some love.
I'm 2 seconds away from calling the cops on you, Brandy. I swear to God.
Oh, please. You're not gonna rat out your own sister. You're too soft for that.
Soft? You literally broke into my place while I was out. I'm supposed to just be okay with that?
Jeez, dramatic much? I didn't break anything. I'm just borrowing your living room and your Wi-Fi. And okay, maybe a little bit of your food.
What food?
Relax, just a couple of things from the fridge. No biggie. I was starving.
What fridge did you eat from, Brandy? Be specific. Was it the silver one or the smaller white one shoved in the corner?
The little white one. The big fridge was locked for some reason. You should really label your stuff better, Nick.
Oh my God, you ate from the white fridge?
Yeah? Why are you freaking out? It's not like food goes bad that fast.
Brandy, that's not even my fridge! That fridge belonged to my old roommate, Alex. He moved out over a year ago.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he left the fridge here when he bailed on the lease. It's been unplugged since last summer. I only kept it because I didn't feel like hauling it downstairs.
You're lying. You're messing with me, right?
I wish I was, you 8-year-old abandoned food, Brandy!
No. That's not possible. It looked fine. There were sandwiches and stuff.
Those sandwiches were fossilized when Biden was still doing his inauguration speech. How could you not notice they smelled like death?
They didn't smell that bad. Maybe a little funky, but I thought it was just like hipster food or something.
Hipster food, Brandy! That wasn't hipster, that was a biohazard!
Oh my god. Oh my god. My stomach feels weird. Really weird. Like, not normal at all.
Yeah, no kidding! You probably just gave yourself the world's worst food poisoning! Congratulations, you absolute moron!
I feel awful. I'm gonna die, Nick. You're gonna feel so bad when I'm dead on your cute little couch.
First of all, if you puke on my couch, I'm sending your corpse a bill. Second, you broke into my place and poisoned yourself. This is officially the dumbest thing you've ever done, and that's saying something.
I'm serious, Nick. My stomach is doing flips. It feels like there's a demon and they're doing cartwheels.
Good! Maybe next time you'll think before you break into someone's house and chow down on year-old mystery meat.
Oh no. I think I'm gonna be sick. Like, really sick. Like, start writing my will sick.
You better not be sick all over my apartment. I'm warning you, Brandy.
You're so mean to me. I'm dying and you're yelling about your stupid couch?
You broke into my home, you raided a zombie fridge, you poisoned yourself, and somehow this is still my fault?
I didn't know, okay? I thought it was normal food.
In what world does a rock-hard sandwich and green yogurt seem normal to you?
I was hungry and desperate, okay? I didn't think about it.
Clearly, thinking's never really been your strong suit.
You're such a jerk, Nick. I'm literally dying over here.
You're not dying. You're learning a valuable life lesson. Next time, don't steal and don't break into places where you don't belong.
I'm never gonna forgive you for this. If I die, it's going in my ghost diary that it was your fault.
Good! I'll frame it and hang it over my new puke-free couch! Thanks for the warning!
I gotta go.
officially over. For now, anyway.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Ava, thank you so much for having me over today. It was nice seeing your new place. Good evening, Olivia. I honestly never imagined that in the first meeting with my brother's girlfriend, I would be showing off my new house, and to top it off, you'd be here too. I thought it was just going to be a casual thing, but look at this. Well, I'm glad I came. I was actually looking forward to meeting Nathan's sister too. You know, the whole first-time meeting thing. It happens to everyone, right? There's no reason to make a big deal out of it. That's not quite what I meant, but whatever. By the way, though, I was thinking, you're still single, aren't you? At 30 years old? Yes, I'm still single. Is there something wrong with that? Well, it's just, I find it a bit strange. You're 30, you're single, and you bought a house? I mean, you have the money to buy a house, but for some reason you still can't seem to find a partner? You just gave up on marriage altogether? That kind of feels a little sad to me, don't you think? I don't really think being 30 and single is all that uncommon these days, though. But still, you bought a house as a single person. I mean, that's kind of unfair, don't you think? Unfair? Yeah, I can definitely smell something strange going on here. I just feel like someone more suitable should be the one living in that house, not someone who's single. Someone more suitable? Yeah, someone like me, of course. Nathan and I will get married and then we'll move into that house. What? You know, the house you bought? It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom property, right? And it's near the station with a lovely garden. I mean, that's amazing, but honestly, it's just way too big to live in by yourself. It would be such a waste, right? So Nathan and I are planning to get married and we'll move in together. I'll be the one living there. You should just hand over the keys to me when the time comes. Oh, and don't worry about giving me a spare key, okay? I'll be living there, so I don't need one from you. I'm going to have to decline. What? Honestly, I didn't want to bring this up because it's so sudden, but the truth is, yes, I'm single, but I do have a fiancé. I won't be living there alone. Wait, what? The deed to the house is actually in both my name and my fiancé's name, so it's not just mine to decide what happens with. Oh, really? Ava, didn't you just earlier talk about how a single woman who couldn't get married ends up buying a house alone? And now you're saying you actually have a fiancé? That's a little hard to believe, don't you think? If you're going to lie, at least make it a little more believable. Honestly, I'm not buying it. You were pretty spot on with your assumptions, but it's clear that this part is just a fabrication. Don't twist what I said into something it wasn't. You're just making up a story now. Is that so? Well, even if it wasn't exactly what you said, I guess I wasn't that far off, was I? I think you should focus on packing your stuff instead of making excuses for yourself. I don't need to pack right now. Actually, this timing couldn't be better. The lease on my current apartment is up for renewal, so it's the perfect moment to move in. It's almost like fate. I didn't say you could just move in there. Oh wait, don't forget, Nathan still needs to propose to me. This conversation is completely going off track.
Ava, are you okay?
Huh? Oh, Martin, is there something wrong?
You seemed a little down today. You've been on such a high lately, ever since you bought the house you always dreamed of. It's been nothing but good vibes from you, and you were even bouncing off the walls for the past few days. But today, from the moment you arrived at work, you looked a little off. Even while you were working, you had this gloomy expression on your face. It was really noticeable.
Oh, really? Was I making that face?
Yeah, you definitely were. Honestly, I thought about coming over and asking if you were okay during work, but then I got caught up with a sudden urgent client matter, so I couldn't get the chance.
Sorry for worrying you. I guess I just had to focus on work today. I didn't mean to seem off, but there's a lot on my mind.
No, it's fine. It's just that I didn't see any mistakes in your work, so I wasn't really worried about that. But hey, I did hear you had your family over to see the new house yesterday. How did that go? Was everything okay?
Yeah, that's right. I invited my family over for the housewarming just to show them the new place. But for some reason, my brother's girlfriend showed up as well, and I wasn't expecting her.
Wait, Nathan's girlfriend?
Yeah, and when I asked Nathan about it, he told me that she works with him. Apparently, she's been asking him out for a while, even though he kept turning her down. Finally, he gave in and agreed to date her, and yesterday was their 6th day of dating. But it was my first time meeting her, and let's just say it didn't go as smoothly as I'd hoped. Honestly, I felt like I was talking to someone from another planet. It was like I was having a conversation with an alien, or at least that's what it felt like.
What happened exactly?
Well, she really seemed to like the house, a little too much, in fact. She kept saying, "I'll marry you and live here with you."
Wait, what?
I know, right? It made no sense, but that's exactly what she said, and she was so serious about it, too. She's like, "I think the house would be happier if I lived here." She was completely convinced that I shouldn't be living there, and she was determined to make it her place instead.
But why? What was her reasoning?
Apparently, in her mind, the only reason a 30-year-old woman would buy a house and still be single is that she's given up on marriage. She said that women in her situation, like me, are the ones who buy houses alone because they've accepted that they'll never get married. She said things like, "The house would be better off with me in it." Even when I tried to tell her I was engaged, she wouldn't believe me. She was absolutely certain that she was the one meant to live there, and she had already started making plans to move in. It was like she didn't hear anything I was saying. I hadn't even given her a key, but I was seriously worried that she'd just show up and try to move in without any permission or anything.
And Nathan? What'd he say?
Well, that's the problem. Nathan was sick at the time, and he was bedridden, so I didn't get the chance to talk to him about it. He had no idea what was going on. I couldn't even really explain it to him properly because he was too out of it.
I see. That's rough. I really wish I could have been there for the housewarming, but I ended up having to work overtime. I feel bad about it now. I would have liked to meet her and maybe have a word with her.
I understand. Work comes first. I know how it is. I just wasn't expecting things to go that way. I didn't expect it to escalate this much.
Well, you know what? From now on, I'm coming over and I'll be staying with you. I'll make it clear that I'm your fiancé, and I'll make sure she knows that this house is not for her. I'll stand my ground and say, I'm here with my fiancé and no one is taking over. If she's really that insistent, I'll make it crystal clear that she's not gonna get away with it.
What? You're really going to do that?
Yeah, absolutely. If she thinks she can just waltz in and take over, she's got another think coming. I'm not gonna let her try and take your house away. This is my fiancé's house, not yours. Well, jokes aside, though, I do think it might be helpful if I show up and make it clear I'm the actual fiancé. I'm gonna move in next month, and maybe that'll convince her to back off. If I show up in person, she might realize this isn't just some made-up story, and she might back down. At least I hope so.
That's actually a good idea. You're right, it might make a difference if you show up in person. She might back down once she realizes it's not some fake relationship.
How about this? I'll come over tomorrow after work. I know you're buried in overtime until the weekend, so I'll go first and help get things settled. How does that sound? I'll go ahead and take care of things until you can catch up.
That would be a huge help. If you don't mind, could you go ahead? I'd really appreciate it.
Got it. Consider it done. I'll be over there to make sure everything is okay. Ava! She's here!
What?
She's already moved in!
What? How did she get in without the keys?
I didn't have time to ask how she did it, but when I showed up, she tried to run off. I caught her, and honestly, I didn't know what else to do, so I ended up calling the police. I had to hand her over to them.
Oh my God, I didn't expect it to escalate this much.
Yeah, I didn't want it to get that far, but she was being so persistent. The police came without sirens, so there were no curious onlookers, but I still talked to the neighbors across the street and next door just to make sure they weren't confused about what was going on.
Thank you for doing all that. I really appreciate it.
Well, it's gonna be my place too, so I wanted to make sure things went smoothly. But hey, Nathan's sick, and you should probably fill him in on everything as soon as possible. He might not believe what's been happening, but it's better if he hears it from you directly.
Yeah, I know. I'll talk to him about it soon. Thanks again for stepping in. That was awful. What was that? I was just watching TV in my new house when this tough-looking old guy barged in and yelled, "Gola!" at me. And then they called the police. I ended up being dragged away in a police car. It was seriously the worst. You're the one who was trespassing, so what are you even saying? Don't forget that your parents had to beg and apologize so that you wouldn't be charged, okay? What the? I just thought I was the one most deserving to live in that new house, that's all. And that's exactly what you can't do. I heard you were sent back to your parents' house in the countryside after that. I tried to get Nathan to come help, but he refused. What was I supposed to do? By the way, who is that tough guy? He said his name was Martin? Martin is my fiancé, actually. What? He's also a senior at my workplace. That day I had to stay late, so I gave him the key and asked him to go ahead and head home. It turns out he showed up at the house and found you there, having just barged in. Wait, you're really engaged? For real? Martin, good morning.
Good morning, Ava.
Thanks again for handling Olivia's trespassing situation the other day.
You don't need to keep thanking me, Ava. I've already gotten the message loud and clear, so there's no need for more.
Yeah, well, actually I got a message from Olivia last night.
Wait, really? How does she still have the nerve to contact you? Is her skin made of steel or something?
Maybe. She didn't seem like she was reflecting on her actions at all.
Unbelievable. That's wild. And speaking of which, I still can't get over the first impression she left on me.
Right? She was just sitting there on the couch in the living room with boxes of stuff piled up at the entrance like she had moved in, as if she had every right to be there.
Oh, yeah. I remember. She was watching TV, holding a can of beer, and eating chicken, laughing like it was her home. It was like she thought she'd already won the place.
Maybe she thought she was celebrating with a little victory party since I finally got the house. Honestly, I couldn't care less at that point.
I was speechless when I saw the window leading to the garden all smashed up.
Yeah, me too. The idea that she thought it was fine to break the glass just to get in because she didn't have a key was chilling. I'm going to have to send her the bill for that glass replacement later on.
By the way, what did you do with all of her stuff? I noticed there were about 10 boxes sitting at the front door.
Oh, that. I asked my brother about it. He managed to get the address of her parents' house, and they told me I could send everything back by cash on delivery. So I shipped it all out the other day.
I heard she was sent back to her parents' place in the countryside, too.
Yeah, apparently her apartment here, where she was living alone, was already conveniently canceled. She had already gone ahead and filled out the paperwork as if she were moving into our new home. So it looks like she had no choice but to go back to her family house.
I guess she tried to turn to Nathan for support, but he turned her down too, huh?
Exactly. It seems like she thought she could rely on him, but he wasn't having any of it either. She's got nothing left to hold on to now. Why am I being asked for alimony? This doesn't make any sense. Didn't you get the message to go through a lawyer? But it doesn't make sense. The message about how you completely misunderstood and bashed me? What's that about? Huh? You spread lies about me on social media. You posted, "My boyfriend's sister is so desperate because she can't get married, so she bought a house instead. What a joke. LOL. You see, Nathan and I are twins. We've been in the same school from kindergarten through high school, so a lot of our local friends overlap. Because of that post, your friends who learned about your social media from Nathan thought that I had broken up with my fiancé, Martin." What? That's what happened because of that? Yes, and it caused a whole mess. There was even an ex of mine, someone I broke up with because he cheated, who started demanding I get back together. He even stalked me and waited for me at the nearest station. What? Luckily, Martin stepped in right away and explained the situation. He made sure to set things straight and intimidated him enough to get him to leave, so it was handled quickly. Oh, that scary-looking guy? Yeah, all of this has been causing a lot of trouble for the past few weeks. The alimony claim I'm making is because of that. Wait, you can really ask for alimony over something like that?
You'd be surprised. It's clear you still haven't learned from this. But I could also file a criminal report if you want.
Wait, no, please, I'll pay the alimony and I'll reflect on it.
Then stop contacting me. It's extremely annoying.
Oh, why is this happening? What's going to happen to me now?
I was told by people around me that I should file a police report, but in the end, it was decided that I wouldn't do so. This decision didn't come easily, as the circumstances surrounding the situation were complex and involved many hidden layers, most of which I only learned about later. The turning point came when I had a conversation with Olivia's parents, and they revealed some of the behind-the-scenes details that I wasn't aware of. To my shock, I discovered that Olivia had been engaged to someone chosen by her parents. This wasn't a normal, voluntary engagement that Olivia had willingly agreed to, but an arranged one, designed according to her parents' wishes. And the more I learned about the situation, the more I realized how much Olivia detested it. Apparently, Olivia had absolutely no desire to marry this man. She found the engagement repulsive and she despised everything about it. She felt trapped, suffocated by her parents' decisions, which seemed to control every aspect of her life. Unable to bear the thought of being stuck in an arranged marriage she didn't want, Olivia decided to take drastic action. She left home and came to the city, almost as if running away, seeking some form of freedom from the pressure she'd been living under. Her departure from home was not just a simple move, it was more like an escape. She had been pushed to the brink, and this was her way of trying to break free from the expectations and control her parents had over her. It was as if she was trying to carve out a space for herself, away from the demands that had been placed on her. But while Olivia thought she had gained some freedom, her parents were having none of it. They were insistent that she should return and honor the engagement, even though she had no desire to do so. In fact, Olivia's parents were concerned about the way her rebellious behavior could reflect poorly on their family, particularly in the eyes of society. They didn't want to see their daughter's character tarnished, especially before she got married. They felt that if Olivia went against their wishes, it would somehow stain her reputation before she even stepped into her role as a wife. Their focus wasn't on Olivia's happiness or well-being, but on maintaining a certain image for their family. In their eyes, a marriage arranged in this way, regardless of Olivia's personal feelings, was the best course of action for both her and them. So, to make sure she adhered to their plans, Olivia's parents took measures to ensure that she would never return to me or my family. They presented us with a document, a formal agreement, that explicitly stated that Olivia and her family would cut ties with us and that Olivia would never again approach me or anyone related to me. In exchange for this, they promised a settlement. It wasn't just any settlement, it was a sum of money significantly higher than what one would expect in these kinds of cases. A sum that was meant to compensate for the inconvenience and emotional toll the whole situation had caused. It was an offer that seemed, at least on the surface, to bring closure to the matter. They were trying to buy peace, offering this hefty amount of compensation in exchange for cutting all ties with Olivia. The settlement was designed to silence any further attempts at contact, and Olivia's parents made it clear that they wanted to ensure that their daughter's future would go ahead as planned, no matter the cost. Despite the money and legal agreements, I couldn't shake the feeling that this was a hollow resolution. It felt like a situation where Olivia's freedom and happiness had been sacrificed in exchange for a smooth, quiet life for her parents. This was not the resolution I had hoped for. I couldn't help but feel sorry for Olivia, whose life had been decided for her in ways that she never consented to. However, the story doesn't end there. A few days later, I stumbled upon some additional information that painted an even darker picture of Olivia's situation. I learned, almost by chance, that the man she was engaged to wasn't who he appeared to be. In fact, he was deeply in debt, far more than anyone had originally suspected. His financial situation was a mess, and it seemed that his only interest in marrying Olivia was to gain access to someone who could earn money and help him pay off his mounting debts. The more I heard about this man, the more disturbed I became. It wasn't just that Olivia's parents had chosen him for her, it was the fact that he was financially irresponsible and had taken on massive debts, which had apparently led to his search for a young woman who could provide some kind of financial support. Olivia, unfortunately, seemed to be caught in a situation where her parents had thought they were protecting her, but in reality, they were making a decision that would only entrench her further into a life she didn't want. I can't even begin to imagine what kind of life Olivia was walking into, considering the financial instability of her future husband. It was clear that this wasn't a partnership based on love or mutual respect. It was a transaction, one that revolved around money and power, not emotions or personal desires.
The worst part was that Olivia had no say in this arrangement. Her voice had been drowned out by the choices made for her by her parents and her fiancé. Even worse, as I learned more about the situation, it became evident that Olivia was likely being pushed into work that she hadn't chosen for herself. I don't want to speculate too much, but given the circumstances and the kind of person her fiancé appeared to be, it was hard not to think that Olivia might be forced into doing things she wasn't comfortable with. Thought of it was chilling, and I could only hope that she wasn't subjugated to any kind of exploitation or mistreatment. All of this made me question the extent to which Olivia's parents were truly acting in her best interests. Were they really trying to protect her, or were they simply looking out for themselves, ensuring that their daughter would fulfill a role that they had already decided for her? The more I thought about it, the more I realized how deeply ingrained these patterns of control and manipulation were in her life. In the end, I couldn't help but feel sympathy for Olivia. She had been caught in a web of expectations, debt, and obligations, and her own desires had been silenced by the pressure of those around her. It wasn't just about the arranged marriage, it was about the lack of agency she had in her own life. Everything had been decided for her, and she had been pushed into a future she never asked for. I couldn't change her situation, though. All I could do was hope that someday Olivia would find the strength to break free from these constraints, to reclaim her life and her voice. Until then, it seemed like her path was set, and there was nothing more I could do to help her. But deep down, I wanted to believe that she could find a way out, that she could escape the life that had been forced on her and create her own future on her own terms. If only she could see that there was more to life than following the path others had laid out for her. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next video.
Hey Samuel, I just got home, and why are all my things packed up in a box? I didn't hear anything about moving. I was in the hospital due to a high-risk pregnancy. Can you explain what's going on?
Chiara, you're the only one moving out.
Wait, what do you mean? Why am I the only one moving?
I decided to keep the apartment for my girlfriend.
Your girlfriend? What are you talking about?
Her name is Caddy, and she's 19 years old.
19? Are you serious? So while I was in the hospital, you were having sleepovers with someone else? She stayed over, and now she wants to live here? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. She loved the view from this high-rise tower apartment so much after spending time here that she said she wanted to live here.
Wait a minute, you've already arranged for a moving company? When are they coming?
Yeah, I set it up. They should be here soon.
So let me get this straight. You've brought your girlfriend into our home? That is unbelievable.
Hey, don't interrupt me while I'm talking.
You don't get to tell me to be quiet when I'm hearing something I can't just ignore. This is a huge deal for us as a couple.
Just listen to what I'm saying. I'm living here with my girlfriend now. You need to leave immediately. Until you move out, I'm gonna stay in a business hotel.
So this means you're planning to divorce me?
Yeah, I guess that's what it comes down to. So please, just go ahead and file for divorce.
You think it's that simple? I am pregnant with your child. I just got out of the hospital after a serious health scare, and you're telling me that you've been cheating on me and now you want me to move out? What is this?
It's not like I wanted to hurt you, but I'd rather live with Caddy than with you. So just hurry up and get out. If you don't leave, Caddy won't be able to move in.
You see me as just a problem to be solved? You think I'm just in the way of your happiness?
Yes, that's right. You're just an obstacle standing in the way of our love.
All right. I see how it is. The obstacle will be out of your way then.
Wait, you're actually agreeing to this?
What do you think I'm supposed to do? You want me to stick around while you're making plans for your new life with someone else?
About the divorce papers, what are you gonna do?
From the sounds of it, you haven't even prepared them. Is that right?
Oh, well, just write your name on them and leave them in the mailbox. I'll fill out my part and submit them to the office. I also need to pick up the marriage certificate with Caddy.
I see. Sounds like you've thought all this through. The movers are here, I guess?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I should let Caddy know right away.
Just so you know, I'm not going to be the one who's left without consequences. You're about to find out just how serious this all is.
Caddy, starting tomorrow, my wife is officially moving out so we can finally live together in the tower apartment.
Oh, really? Oh, that's amazing.
I made sure to clear out my wife's room completely so it's all ready for you.
Thank you so much. I asked for that room and you made it happen so quickly.
You want me to help you with your packing?
No, that's okay. I'm in the final stages of getting everything sorted. Actually, I might have already canceled my lease on my current apartment, so I'm fully committed to moving.
Wow, that's really fast.
I just can't wait to move into your tower apartment.
Oh, Caddy, you really care about me that much?
Of course, I'm really looking forward to it. I'll show up bright and early tomorrow morning to surprise you.
Sounds great. I guess that means I should take a day off work so I could be there to welcome you.
Wow, you're really going to take a day off just for me? Oh, that's so sweet. Once I arrive, we can have some fun in that amazing room with the stunning view. I can't wait to cuddle up with you there.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see you. I'm really excited about you moving in and all the time we'll get to spend together.
I've been dreaming about this day. The thought of living together, waking up next to you every morning, it's just so perfect.
And I promise to make sure you have everything you need to feel at home. I want you to love living here as much as I do.
I'm sure I will. Just being with you makes me feel so happy. I can already picture us decorating the place together, filling it with our memories.
Exactly. We can create our own little world. Plus, I think the view from the apartment will be a perfect backdrop for our new life together.
Yes, I can't wait to see that view every day. It's going to be our special place.
I'll be counting down the hours until you arrive. It feels like a dream come true.
Me too. Tomorrow's going to be the start of something amazing for us.
I'm so ready for this new chapter in our lives. See you in the morning.
See you soon. I'm counting down the minutes.
You know, living with the person you love and being able to be affectionate all the time is just the best. I've been using up all my remaining paid leave from work just to spend time with Caddy and enjoy being together.
Samuel, you've been off work for 2 whole weeks now.
Well, I properly requested the time off, so what's the big deal?
I suppose that's true, but you know, I was just about to reach out to you.
Oh, what's up?
Have you submitted the divorce papers I sent you? You know, the ones you were supposed to file with the office?
Wait, what?
You remember the letter I included with the divorce papers? It said, please let me know once you've submitted them to the office.
Oh, right, I forgot about that.
What do you mean, you haven't submitted them yet?
I got so caught up in being affectionate with Caddy that I completely lost track of it.
What kind of ridiculous excuse is that? Seriously.
Actually, since Caddy moved into the tower apartment, I haven't even stepped outside once. I've been too busy enjoying my time with her.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. After all that pushing to get it done, you've really let it slip your mind? It's just unbelievable.
Well, just come by and pick it up then.
What? You want me to come over right now?
Yeah, I really don't want to be apart from Caddy for even a second right now.
You know, I just got out of the hospital after being in for a high-risk pregnancy, right? You can't just expect me to handle all this. I'm already overwhelmed with the stress from your cheating and the divorce. Now you want me to deal with moving on top of that? Please, don't add any more stress to my plate.
What's the matter? Are you not going to come get it? Because if you don't, you won't be able to get divorced. Are you okay with that?
That's not something you should be saying. You are seriously out of your mind.
So are you coming to get the papers or not?
Oh, wait a second. It doesn't have to be me who picks them up, does it?
I guess it doesn't have to be you.
In that case, there's someone perfect who can go there soon. You can just give the papers to them.
Oh, really? That sounds good. And I just got a message from Caddy asking for our 3rd round of affection today, so I have to go.
Wow, it's like you're completely obsessed. I can't even process how you've turned into this person.
What can I say? It's just been so nice spending time with her that I'm kind of in a daze right now. It's hard to focus on anything else. Hey, Chiara, what's this about alimony and child support? You're seriously asking for alimony from Caddy, too?
You've heard all about it from your lawyer, haven't you?
No matter how much I hear, I can't accept it. I know you're jealous of the love that Caddy and I share, but this is just pathetic.
Oh, come on. The common understanding is that the person who cheated has to pay alimony to the person who was cheated on. And it's also completely reasonable for child support to be paid when a divorce occurs. That's just how it works.
Caddy and I are genuinely in love. At this point, you're the one who's become my cheating partner, so if anyone should be paying alimony, it should be you.
Just so you know, the lawyer is still here.
Yeah, I know. He just went to the restroom and is currently texting me.
Listen, you two seem to be living in some kind of fantasy world, completely unaware of your current situation. I've actually asked the lawyer to explain everything to you in detail until you finally understand.
What?
You're eager to marry your beloved Katie, right? Then you need to settle your responsibilities properly for betraying me. Get this sorted out cleanly and quickly.
But I never thought it would cost this much to get a divorce.
It's ridiculous that you're whining about something that is completely normal when getting divorced.
What do you mean by that?
I'm saying you need to take responsibility for your actions without making a fuss. It's really not that hard to understand.
All I want is to marry Caddy.
You need to accept the reality that you're trying to throw away something that is much more significant than just me.
What do you mean?
What you're trying to throw away isn't just me. You're also trying to abandon our child who is about to be born. That's the lowest thing a father can do, and you should never forget that.
I didn't mean to.
You need to face the truth. Being a father means taking responsibility for your actions, even if it's hard. You're choosing to prioritize your relationship with Katie over your own child and me. That's an awful decision.
But I thought we could figure something out.
Figuring something out means facing the consequences of your actions. You can't just run away from your responsibilities because you've found someone new. It doesn't work that way.
It's just so complicated.
Life is complicated, but that doesn't excuse abandoning your responsibilities. I want you to think deeply about what you're doing. Once you're a parent, your priorities change. You need to understand the weight of your decisions.
I know, but...
No buts. Just think about what it means to be a father and to be a decent human being. Your actions have consequences, and it's time to face them. I've transferred the alimony and child support. You don't need to keep contacting me about it. I've been informed through my lawyer.
Damn it! I ended up borrowing money from my parents because of this.
Your parents told me they apologized for you. They even took money from their hard-earned retirement savings to help you out. On top of that, they had to cover the costs for your cheating partner as well. You better make sure you pay them back.
Well, it's not like I have no means to pay them back, so I guess it's fine. I just thought it would be difficult to gather the money by the payment deadline, so I had no choice but to take out a loan temporarily.
Oh, is that so?
I'm planning to talk to Caddy about this, but I think I'm going to put the tower apartment up for sale.
Wait, what?
Even though it's a used property, the higher floors of the tower should fetch a decent price. If all goes well, I might be able to pay off the debt and even have some left over.
Have you lost your mind?
What do you mean?
That apartment is a rental, you know.
Huh? They have rentals in a tower like that?
Of course they do. Why do you think you've been living there all this time?
I thought you could only buy apartments in a tower. I assumed you bought it, and that since we got married, it would automatically belong to me as your husband.
How could you have such mistaken belief?
Wait, what? Why did I think that?
You always act on your baseless assumptions and unreliable instincts. Anyway, it's a rental. Plus, it's in my name.
What?
You moved into the apartment I was living in before we got married. That means you don't have any right to sell it. And since we're getting a divorce, you can't live there anymore either.
Wait!
Well, you could continue living there if you change the lease into your name.
But by the way, how much is the rent?
It's $5,200 a month.
5,200? That's almost 3 times my monthly income. There's no way I can afford that.
You haven't forgotten that I run a business with my best friend, right? Sure, I'm on maternity leave right now, but I have enough income to cover the rent on my own.
Wait, what? You had a baby?
I should mention that I successfully gave birth 3 days ago.
Oh.
But don't think you'll have any visitation rights. Once the child grows up, don't try to get involved in their life.
Hey, Chiara, we should really reconsider this divorce.
What?
You're leaving me without a place to live.
Well, I canceled the lease on that apartment.
What? Why would you do that? We're not officially divorced yet. You can't just make that decision.
Actually, we are divorced. I intended to submit the divorce papers as soon as I confirmed the transfer of alimony and child support. Now that I have confirmation, my mom went to the office on my behalf to submit the divorce papers.
You just did that?
Yes, I just got the notification that our divorce was finalized about 10 minutes ago.
10 minutes ago?
So as of now, we are no longer together. There's still a month before the move-out date for the tower apartment, but you have no right to stay there now that we're no longer a couple. You have to leave within 3 days.
What? How can you say that?
I've already explained the situation to the management company. If you don't vacate the premises within 3 days, they will call the police.
The police?
If you understand, then please hurry up and leave.
What am I supposed to tell Caddy?
That's not my problem.
Damn it! Caddy, I can't believe you're just gone when I woke up this morning. That note about breaking up was just a joke, right?
Shut up, you old man.
Wait, what?
I was so excited to finally be living in the tower apartment, but then I find out it's actually in your ex-wife's name. And on top of that, your income is only 1/3 of hers because you're just a temp. How can you not even know that as her husband? Your head is way too empty.
Caddy, you sound like a completely different person.
This is just who I am, after all. You're broke, and you have no place to live, and you don't have enough brains to deal with anything, you loser. I've got nothing to gain from a middle-aged guy who's got absolutely nothing going for him. Just for a brief moment, you should feel grateful that you had any relationship with a young and cute 19-year-old like me. Anyway, see you.
You're not getting away from me. There's no way I'm letting you escape.
Although he sometimes seemed a bit lacking in intelligence, there was something endearing about that. There was indeed a time when I had such thoughts about my ex-husband. I would find myself chuckling at his antics, believing that his innocent blunders added a certain charm to our relationship. At that moment, it was easy to overlook his shortcomings, focusing instead on the warmth he brought to my life. This must be what they call the love filter. It's terrifying to realize how love can distort our perceptions, blinding us to the flaws that ultimately become unbearable. Speaking of terrifying, the aftermath of our relationship unfolded like a nightmare. Just as it is often said that the end of financial support leads to the end of relationships. Samuel was unceremoniously dumped by Katie when the money ran out. It was a classic case of when the well runs dry, so does the love. However, what transpired next was beyond anyone's imagination. Simultaneously with his departure from their luxury apartment, he managed to morph into a stalker. The verbal abuse he unleashed during their breakup was so severe that, ironically, it seemed to ignite a twisted passion in his heart for Katie. It was as if those hateful words fueled his obsession rather than scaring him off. The cruelty of their parting left scars on both of them, but for Samuel, it seemed to morph into an unhealthy fixation on what he had lost. No matter how hard Katie tried to escape from him, Samuel would somehow appear out of nowhere like a ghost from her past. Sometimes he would look at her with a resentful gaze filled with an unspoken bitterness and anger. Other times he would show up with a creepy, overly cheerful grin that sent chills down her spine. His demeanor almost unsettlingly enthusiastic in the midst of his desperation. It was a jarring contrast, making Katie question his mental state even further. Even Katie, who had always been resilient and strong-willed, appeared to be significantly affected by the situation. The relentless nature of Samuel's pursuit seemed to take a toll on her mental state. It was like watching someone being slowly worn down by the relentless waves of an unyielding sea. The pressure just kept building, and she seemed to be reaching her breaking point. The psychological warfare he waged was exhausting, leaving her in a constant state of anxiety. Currently, it seems that both of them are undergoing treatment in separate hospitals, far from one another. It's as if they're each battling their own demons in isolation, perhaps trying to escape the tangled mess of their shared history. There's a cruel irony in their situation, as both are dealing with the consequences of their choices, but in vastly different ways. Each hospital room tells a story of regret, pain, and the desperate search for redemption. In retrospect, the relationship had always been a roller coaster ride. From the beginning, it was marked by highs and lows, laughter and tears. At first glance, they appeared to be the perfect couple, dazzling in their shared experiences and affection. They traveled to exotic locations, shared romantic dinners, and painted a picture of bliss that everyone envied. Yet, as the initial allure faded, the cracks began to show. Samuel's behavior shifted from charming to possessive, and Katie found herself walking on eggshells, unsure of what would set him off. Initially, their shared life in the luxury high-rise was filled with dreams and aspirations. They hosted lavish parties, inviting friends and acquaintances to showcase their successful life. However, the glamour began to dim as financial strains became apparent. Samuel's job was not as stable as he had portrayed, and Katie's once thriving career faced unforeseen setbacks. The glitzy lifestyle they had created began to slip through their fingers like sand, and the cracks in their relationship widened. As the money began to dwindle, so too did the affection between them. It was as if the wealth had acted as a glue, holding their relationship together, and when that glue began to weaken, the underlying issues bubbled to the surface. The tension escalated, culminating in an explosive arguments that would leave them both feeling empty and drained. Each argument chipped away at the foundation of their love, and resentment began to fester. The final straw came one fateful evening. They had been out to dinner, and the conversation took a turn for the worse. What started as a casual discussion about finances quickly escalated into a full-blown shouting match. Harsh words were exchanged, and amidst the chaos, Samuel hurled insults at Katie that were not only cruel but deeply personal. The wounds inflicted during that fight were deep, and they resonated long after the dust had settled. In that moment, something in her snapped. Katie had always been a fierce and independent woman, but in that heated moment, she realized she could no longer endure the emotional torment. She left the restaurant in tears, her heart heavy with the weight of the relationship's demise. Samuel, in his rage, did not follow her immediately, but instead sat there, simmering in his anger, allowing the reality of their situation to sink in. As days turned into weeks, Katie tried to move on. She packed her belongings and found a new place to live, far away from the memories of their life together. Yet no matter how hard she tried, Samuel's shadow loomed over her. He would call, text, and occasionally show up at her new apartment, each time with an increasingly desperate demeanor. The emotional turbulence of their breakup manifested in Samuel's behavior, and it was clear that he was spiraling out of control. For Katie, the freedom she had longed for became a prison of fear. Every noise in the night sent her heart racing, and the once comfortable sanctuary of her new home felt like a trap. The moments she had once enjoyed alone now felt suffocating, and the weight of her past loomed over her like a dark cloud. She had wanted to be free, but the very person she had tried to escape was now haunting her thoughts, turning her world upside down. The cycle of harassment escalated. Samuel's visits became more erratic. Sometimes he would appear with gifts, trying to win her back with grand gestures that only seemed more pathetic. "Look at what I brought you," he would exclaim, holding out an extravagant bouquet of flowers or a fancy dinner reservation, desperately attempting to rekindle the flames of their past. Other times, he would confront her with accusations and fear, his eyes wide with desperation. It was a terrifying juxtaposition, and Katie felt trapped in a horror movie with no way to escape. Katie soon realized that she needed to take drastic measures to protect herself. After consulting with friends and family, she made the difficult decision to seek a restraining order against him. It was a painful step, but it was necessary for her safety. She gathered her strength and recounted her experiences to the authorities, feeling both empowered and terrified. Each recounting of the harassment brought back waves of trauma, but she knew it was a necessary step in reclaiming her life. However, even with the restraining order in place, the fear lingered like a dark shadow. Samuel, feeling cornered and rejected, became more unpredictable. His obsession intensified, and Katie often found herself looking over her shoulder, anxious at every unfamiliar sound. She invested in security measures, installing cameras and an alarm system, but nothing could fully alleviate the sense of dread that followed her. The situation took an even darker turn when she learned that Samuel had been stalking her online. He would create false profiles on social media to follow her, keeping tabs on her every move. It felt like he was invading her life even more, and she was powerless to stop it. Each new alert on her phone sent her heart racing, a reminder that she could never truly escape him. The digital age had made it easier for him to stalk her from the shadows, further complicating her ability to find solace. Eventually, both of them reached a breaking point. The emotional turmoil and the weight of their past began to manifest physically. Katie found herself struggling with anxiety and insomnia, while Samuel's mental health deteriorated to the point where he was hospitalized. The news of his hospitalization reached Katie through mutual friends, a bittersweet piece of information that left her with mixed feelings and nothing more.
Hey, Sienna, today was Kimmy's university graduation ceremony, wasn't it?
Yes, it should be over by now, I think. She mentioned she'd be going out for a karaoke party with her friends to celebrate, so she'll be back late.
I see. You're staying home, right?
Well, for now, yes, I'm at home.
Anyway, I'll be coming home early today. There's something important I need to talk to you about, so make sure you're there.
What is this all about?
I'll explain it in person when I get there. I also have something to give you.
All right, I understand.
Mom, sorry for the late update. The graduation ceremony went smoothly, and I just arrived at a karaoke place with my university friends.
Good job, Kimmy. What time do you think you'll be back?
Let's see. We booked the karaoke for a 2-hour session, but we might extend it, so I'd say it'll definitely be after 9 p.m.
Do you need me to pick you up? Are you sure you know the way back?
No worries. A friend who knows our situation is heading in the same direction, so we decided to share a taxi. As long as I give the driver the address, it'll be fine. Besides, you're busy tonight, aren't you? I can handle myself, so don't worry about me and focus on your stuff.
All right, I got it, thanks.
By the way, how's everything going on your end?
Well, you know, your dad called and said he has something to discuss when he gets back. I mean, I have a good idea of what it's about, but it's just such a hassle.
Oh, yeah, I get that. But hey, maybe it's a good thing. Saves you the trouble in a way, right?
True. I'll try to look at it positively. Anyway, take care on your way home.
Will do.
Sienna? Don't you dare let your anger get the best of you and tear up that document I just gave you.
The divorce papers, you mean? The ones with your name already neatly filled in? So what's the deal? You come home, shove the divorce papers at me, and walk right back out without saying a word. Weren't you going to explain this to me in person?
I decided to convey it through a message instead. Here it is, I'm saying it now.
All right. I got the gist from the divorce papers, but what is it you want to say?
Divorce me, please, just set me free.
Set you free? What exactly do you mean by that?
Kimmy is graduating from university today, right? And after the ceremony, she's heading straight to the apartment where she'll be living on her own, isn't she?
That's correct. And?
Kimmy becoming an independent adult means that my duties as a parent are complete. Now that she's moving out, there's nothing left for me to do, is there?
Well, I wouldn't say there's nothing left, but I'll agree it marks a major milestone.
Exactly. But when I thought about what comes next, working day in and day out just to support you as you grow older and frankly become an old hag, I couldn't help but feel this overwhelming sense of emptiness about my future.
You do realize you're getting older too, right?
This isn't about me. Look, I'll be blunt. The idea of spending the rest of my life alone with you, just the two of us, makes me feel completely deflated. I've had enough. I want to be free. I want to be released from all these obligations as a parent and a husband. In other words, Kimmy is moving out so you can stop being a mother too. Just disappear from my life already.
Oh, really? Well, whether or not I stop being a mother is my decision to make, not yours.
That's exactly the kind of thing I'm talking about. I'm telling you, I've lost all interest in you. I don't care about an old hag who's completely useless to me.
Oh, I see. This must be about that cute young coworker you mentioned at your job. Well, feel free to get all excited about her, but let me tell you, it's definitely a delusion. You're just making a fool of yourself, and you should consider both her feelings and your age before getting carried away.
I'm not saying I'm planning to do anything with her.
Really?
Just divorce me already and get out.
All right. Honestly, I've been thinking about divorcing you for a long time now because of these exact behaviors of yours.
Wait, what?
Oh, and by the way, the moving company will be here in about 5 minutes.
5 minutes? What do you mean 5 minutes?
Well, while we've been having this little chat, I got a notification from the movers saying they're almost here. It's late, so there's a surcharge for the nighttime service, but they were willing to accommodate my request. I wanted to get this over with as soon as possible, so I scheduled it for tonight.
Wait, what?
Thanks for everything up until now.
Hold on, are you saying you've already packed up and prepared to move out?
Oh, and thanks for the divorce papers, too. You saved me the trouble of having to prepare them myself. I'll drop them off at the city office's night reception desk before the end of the day.
Wait a second!
Oh, one more thing. This is important.
What is it?
This house is set to be demolished.
What? What are you talking about? You didn't even consult me about this? How can the owner decide something like that without my approval?
Excuse me? What are you even saying? The landlord is my brother, remember?
Wait, what?
Do I need to remind you? For the past 20 years, my brother let us rent this place at a ridiculously low rate. It was sitting vacant while his family was overseas for an extended period. He figured it would be better for someone to live in it than let it go to waste.
Oh, right.
Now that my brother's family's wrapping up their time abroad and coming back to the U.S., they've decided to rebuild the house. It's old and in poor condition, so it's time to tear it down. The rental agreement ends at the end of next month.
What the hell?
Anyway, the movers are here now. Bye.
Wait, what's going on? What am I supposed to do now?
Mom, the karaoke competition is over, so I'm about to hop in a taxi and head to my new place.
All right, well, be careful on your way.
By the way, during karaoke, Dad kept calling me over and over. The number of missed calls was insane.
You didn't pick up?
I was too busy singing to even notice. Oh, and he sent a text message at the end. He was like, "Your mom left. She's going to divorce me. Help me."
Oh my. The nerve of him, especially after handing me the divorce papers himself. Unbelievable.
Anyway, I did leave him on red and didn't reply.
Good call. Oh, just so you know, the divorce papers have already been submitted to the night reception desk at City Hall.
Got it.
All right, I'm going to start unpacking the basics.
You've already finished moving all your stuff?
Yes, I tried to minimize my belongings, and since it's only a 20-minute drive from the old house, it didn't take long.
Gotcha. Well, I'll see you later then.
All right, be safe.
Hey, Sienna, why haven't you come over yet?
Oh, it's been 2 months. What do you want?
I gave you my new address, didn't I?
Oh, that. You mean the random address you sent me about a month ago? Honestly, I wasn't sure what you were trying to achieve with that. So what exactly was the point?
Why haven't you come to do the housework?
Excuse me? Housework? Who's doing whose housework here?
Who else? You're supposed to do my housework, of course. Housework is a woman's job. My mom's in a nursing home, so there's no one else but you to handle it.
Are you even listening to yourself right now?
Unbelievable. You really don't get it, do you? We were married for 23 years. Even though I had to constantly criticize you for your incompetence, you still managed somehow. And now, just because we're divorced, you've suddenly forgotten everything? I'll retrain you if I have to. Starting tomorrow, I expect you here every day.
Wow. Are you feeling okay, like mentally?
What?
Asking your ex-wife, an entirely unrelated person now, to come do housework for your home? Do you hear how ridiculous that sounds?
What are you talking about?
And retrain me? Oh, that's one of the most disrespectful things I've ever heard. Let me remind you, when we were married, despite us both working full-time jobs, you dumped all the housework and childcare on me while you sat back and criticized everything I did. You were the textbook definition of all talk, no action. And you think you were in any position to critique me?
Who are you calling useless? I told you before, housework is a woman's job.
Well, even if that's your twisted belief, you don't go asking a stranger to do your housework, do you?
But you're not a stranger. You were my wife.
Was your wife, past tense. Now I'm your ex-wife, which makes me just another person in the world. If a stranger is going to do housework for you, it's usually because they're a professional housekeeper or part of a cleaning service. That's literally their job. And let me make this crystal clear. I am neither your housekeeper nor your servant. I have no obligation or intention to do anything for you.
Fine. If that's the way it's gonna be, I'll just ask Kimmy instead. As her father, I'll tell her it's part of her training to be a proper wife someday. She'll jump at the opportunity, thinking it's a good life lesson.
Yeah, good luck with that. I wouldn't get my hopes up if I were you.
Kimmy, I have a favor to ask.
No.
Ah! Wait, hold on. I haven't even finished saying anything yet.
I'm guessing it's something like, as my daughter, you should come over and help me with housework, right? But that's impossible.
Why is that?
Well, since Mom isn't here anymore, the only person who can do the housework is me, your daughter. But it's your responsibility. Why don't you just take care of it yourself?
No, housework is a woman's job. It's simple, really.
Wait, what? What do you mean by that? Are you really saying that housework is only for women?
Listen, one day you'll get married, and when you do, you don't want your husband to think you can't even handle basic housework, right? That's why you need to learn it now. It's your responsibility, and you should take it seriously.
I already know how to do it just fine. You don't have to tell me what to do.
Oh, really? If that's the case, then starting tomorrow, I expect you to come over and handle the housework. That shouldn't be a problem, right?
I'm saying no. Do you even remember that I'm an adult now and have my own life to take care of?
It's not that big of a deal. You could just swing by after work, do a bit of cleaning, prepare a meal for me. The apartment I'm living in now is just one bedroom and the dining room and kitchen, so it's smaller and easier to clean. Plus, cooking for just me won't take that long, and it's not nearly as difficult as when we lived in a big house before.
If you think it's so easy, then why don't you do it yourself?
Well, that's because I don't have time for it. And besides, it's not as easy as you think.
And yet you think I should just drop everything and help you? It's physically impossible.
Physically impossible? What do you mean by that?
The thing is, the company's new employee training is almost over, and I've been assigned to a branch office in a completely different region. So I'm going to be moving far away soon.
Wait, didn't you just start living alone in that apartment near your work?
That was only temporary. The company provided it for me as an accommodation during my training period. But now that my placement's been finalized, I'll be moving to a different city.
So, you're moving even farther away now?
Yes, that's right. And just so you know, I'm bringing Mom with me too.
What? Why are you taking Mom with you?
Well, Mom's job is working as a handmade artist, which means she can work from home. And since she's single now, she doesn't have to worry about finding a place to live, so it's easy for her to move. Plus, she doesn't mind at all.
I don't get it. Why does she have to go with you?
The main reason is that I don't want to be bothered by Dad asking me to get remarried or pressuring me to take care of him. It's easier to just take Mom along with me. That way I won't have to deal with any of his nonsense.
Wait a minute. No, that's not what I was saying.
Oh, so I'm right, huh?
No, that's not what I meant.
Anyway, we've made up our minds. We're not going to take care of you anymore. We've had enough of you, especially since you don't even appreciate the value of having someone to help with the housework. Neither Mom nor I will lift a finger for you anymore.
Kimmy! But at least, could you please help me out and clean up my place a bit? I don't even know how to take out the trash, and the place is such a mess that you can't even see the floor anymore!
Maybe you should just drown in your own pigsty forever. Goodbye. It seems that my ex-husband's deeply ingrained belief that housework is a woman's job hasn't changed at all, even after our divorce. From what I've heard from a colleague of my ex-husband, someone I personally know well, it seems he's become quite unbearable. Apparently he's developed an odor that's hard to ignore. Whether it's because he hasn't been doing his laundry or if it's just his natural body odor due to aging, the result is the same. When you get too close to him, the stench is overwhelming. He apparently smells terrible, and it's gotten so bad that even his coworkers have started to notice. But that's not even the worst of it. It seems that he approached a young and beautiful female employee at his office with an inappropriate proposal. He tried to get her to become his housekeeper, thinking that she would take on the household responsibilities he was too lazy to manage. He persistently tried to pursue her, and this situation escalated into a huge issue at the company. The story that was shared with me went something like this. When his supervisor addressed the issue, my ex-husband's response was to blame his inability to keep his house in order on the fact that there was no one to do the laundry and no one to take out the trash. His supervisor, a man himself, was apparently taken aback by my ex-husband's comments. He looked at him with a stunned expression and said, "Why don't you do it yourself?" This reaction seemed to leave my ex-husband dumbfounded. He couldn't comprehend why anyone would think he was capable of doing these things himself. But the truth is, he never had to do them while we were married because he always expected me to take care of everything. As the situation at his job continued to unravel, it became apparent that my ex-husband's inability to adapt and learn how to take care of himself was becoming a serious problem, both at work and in his personal life. He had a long history of neglecting his responsibilities, and now this same neglect was affecting his professional reputation. His behavior, combined with a series of repeated mistakes, led to him being demoted and having his salary reduced. Word has started to spread that my ex-husband is now facing a recommendation for retirement, or, at the very least, a forced resignation. I have no idea how true those rumors are, but if they are, I can't say I'm too surprised. This is a man who has never truly grown up or taken responsibility for his actions. Instead of taking the initiative to learn new skills or adapt to his circumstances, he's always preferred to live in a fantasy where women, like myself, would just take care of everything for him. His inability to change or even to acknowledge that he has to take responsibility for his own life has led him to this point. I can't help but think that this is the outcome he deserves, though part of me is also slightly amused by how he's handling it. He seems so completely unaware of the reality of his situation. For someone who always wanted to appear as if he had everything under control, it's rather amusing to see him fail in such spectacular fashion. The man who used to criticize me for not doing enough in our marriage is now being confronted with the consequences of his actions, and it's clear he has no idea how to fix it. The whole situation has caused me to reflect on just how much he took me, and others, for granted during our marriage. His sense of entitlement, particularly towards household chores, was beyond belief. It wasn't just about laundry or cooking, it was about his expectation that I should shoulder all of the responsibilities that came with managing our home, without any real recognition of the hard work that went into it. He would always say that housework was a woman's job, as though that somehow justified his complete refusal to lift a finger. And even after everything that happened between us, he still seems to think this attitude is acceptable. But now, in his new predicament, he has no choice but to face the consequences of his outdated thinking. He's made mistakes at work, alienated people around him, and lost the respect of his peers, all because of his refusal to change. The reality he's been living in has finally caught up to him, and he's unable to adapt. He's so entrenched in his way of thinking that he doesn't even realize how ridiculous he looks to others. For someone who used to insist that he was right about everything, this is a significant blow to his ego. In some ways, it almost feels like poetic justice. He's always viewed himself as superior to those around him, especially me, simply because of his gender. Yet now he's the one facing ridicule and personal failure, while I'm moving on with my life. It's strange, though, because even though I've been through a lot because of him, I don't feel any sympathy for him now.
If anything, I find myself feeling a sense of relief that I'm no longer involved in his mess.
But what really gets to me is the fact that he still hasn't learned anything. His entire world seems to revolve around his own comfort, and he expects others to do the work for him. He never realized that in order to function in the world, you have to be self-sufficient. He's always depended on others to take care of him, whether it was his mother, his wife, or now some unsuspecting woman at his office. And when that support is pulled away, he has no idea how to cope. What's even more shocking is that even after all of this, he still can't understand why people are upset with him. His sense of entitlement has not waned. He hasn't stopped thinking that it's someone else's job to clean up his mess. This is the same man who for years would criticize me for the smallest things while never once lifting a finger to help. Now that he's on his own, he's unable to take care of the most basic tasks, and that's what led to the collapse of his career. As for me, I've moved on from all of this. I have no intention of helping him, nor do I feel any need to. I've been through enough, and he has made it clear that he is incapable of change. He's going to have to deal with the fallout on his own, and I won't be there to pick up the pieces. In the end, it's hard to feel sorry for someone who never took responsibility for their own actions. He had a chance to make things right, but he chose not to, and now he faces the consequences. I can only watch from the sidelines. It's his problem now, not mine, and I plan to keep it that way. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.